So I'm told that the good people of the Boxing Voice are running a smear campaign on Inui, talking about he can't be pound for pound because they are not familiar with the vast majority of fighters that he has fought. I was not aware that a pound for pound list is judged or made based on what you do or don't know. You know? I never heard that. Also, because I don't know these dudes, or because I'm too lazy. Because the shit is, it's like in this day and age, whatever you don't know is your own ignorance. It's your fault. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change the theme. I'm gonna change the theme of the joint to this baby blue I got on. This baby blue. Oh, there it is. There go to baby blue for the ticker. You feel me? That it's 2025, homeboy. Whatever you want to know is a click away. It's a Google search away. If you're not familiar with his resume, or you're not familiar with anything really, all you got to do is look it up. If this dude's been around as long as he has and you still haven't, that ain't got nothing to do with pound for pound. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's just your lazy ass. You just being lazy. And what are Americans if not lazy? You know? What it do, Buried? What it do, Gooch? What it do, Edward, Luis, Mike? You know? It's pure silliness. What it do, Lucius? What it do, Draven, D Raven, Cervecero, que lo que manín, manín, la piñata agria manín. What it do, Jay Flint in the building. Ow. But yeah, somebody hit me up. They was like, yeah, now they trashing Inui because they saying they don't know the people that he fought. By that reckoning, I guess Clarissa Shields can't be pound for pound. She can't be on the list. If what you saying is you can't rate somebody unless you know who they fought, most people don't know who the hell she fought. Most people. It's one girl that she fought that people know. Other than that, they don't know them other girls. So I guess on that reckoning, on that premise, Clarissa Shields can't be pound for pound. Javante can't be pound for pound because most of the people he fought, nobody know who they are. Nobody knew who they were. Who the hell knew who Mario Barrios was before he fought him? Who was David Cuellar before he fought him? Who was Hugo Ruiz? Who was that before he fought him? People knew Gamboa, but he already had what, 3-4 losses before Javante fought him? If we saying that you can't be pound for pound unless you fight in marquee fighters, well, that would have to make Canelo number one by default. The pound for pound list would basically be Canelo, Usyk, Crawford, right? It can't be none of them dudes that y'all like, because them dudes y'all like suck. Shout out to Open the Gates for the $10 donation to the Chinese Beer Fund of Malaysia. Hola, Rin, que lo que es, manín. Ya tú sabes, manín. Estamos aquí afuera. Yeah, man. Yo vi la tipa esta, Selena Gómez, llorando por la vaina que está pasando. Muy dramática. I don't really like celebrities. I just don't look at them in the same light that I used to when I was a kid. I view everything they do now as a campaign to get attention. Y para mí eso es lo que ella estaba buscando. Atención. She was trying to do like the Sally Struthers thing. Won't somebody please think about the children? Coño, pero qué maldita teta tiene esa niña, man. El diablo. Jonathan Lamborena, what it do, my dude? I knew Barrios. He got his ass whooped by the Kazakh. Yeah, you're right. I knew him from the Akhmedov fight. That's what I knew him for. They're like, yo, this dude got a gift against Akhmedov. That's what he's known for. You know? But yeah, if that's the argument that, oh, because people don't know your opponents, that exempts you from being pound for pound, Clarissa cannot be pound for pound then. That's out. Because nobody be knowing who she fighting. Nobody be knowing who the last girl. Yeah, I know because I do the research. But if we talking about the vast majority of people, I think, yeah, nobody be knowing who you fighting. Nobody be knowing who these people are. Same with Javante. Most of the time, people know Lamont Roach, not because he did something, because Jamel Herring beat him. That's how they know Lamont Roach. That's what they know him for. that, what was it, 2020? He beat Lamont Roach. That was what, 4 or 5 years ago? That's what they know Lamont Roach from. The arguments get sillier and sillier in America because the bar is set lower and lower. And I wonder what pound for pound lists are going to look like in the next 5 years. Because if you really look around, you know, it might be a bunch of foreign dudes on the pound for pound, not for nothing. It might be. Because who you going to put on there? Who you going to put on there? That's American. What's the American fighters doing right now? I got Shakur on mine, but he's in the bottom tier. You feel me? He's in the bottom tier. Bam too. Bam is in the bottom tier. They ain't in the top 5. Now, arguably, you could have Teofimo. You could. Arguably, 2-division champion, 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, unified in one division, not in the other. Got some strong names. There's some angling, though. You could have Teofimo on there, but that dude is a train wreck, bro. Another loss is waiting for him in 1 or 2 fights. You know? Shout out to Rigman. Akhmedov got robbed by Puello. Yeah, bro. You can't be a foreign fighter in America because Americans don't want boxing to be a sport. Americans want boxing to be a show, not a sport. That's why you see that influencer shit. That shit really popped over here much harder than it did anywhere else because Americans don't want boxing to be a sport. They want the shit to be Harlem Globetrotters, where their favorite fighter always win, even when they don't, where they always fighting the same kind of motherfuckers. Americans don't want boxing to be a sport. Shout out to my Brits that's getting it in and getting it on and cutting each other and hurting each other. Shout out to London. You know? Because they getting it in over there the way you supposed to. They still men over there. That's the problem. It's little boys over here. That's what the real problem is. The collective consciousness of the people are reflected in their boxing. I firmly believe that. Brits still bought that action. They trying to get it on. Mexico, you know they bought that action. They trying to do what they need to do. Japanese, all about honor, which is crazy because it's like Inoue is a fighter that literally doesn't give you a lot to complain about. This recent thing with MJ is the only time where there may have been a reason for you to say, come on, bro. But other than that, it's not a career that you could complain about. Don't you notice that it's the Americans that put no emphasis on unification matches, on Undisputed, on Ring Magazine or Lineal? They place no emphasis on these earmarks that are traditionally important. The Americans do away with tradition whenever it's convenient because of the dick they stick in their mouth. Gervonta never been lineal, never unified shit, never held the Ring Magazine. I don't think he ever will, to be real with you. I think he'll go his whole career never having done nothing. No unification, no lineal, none of it. And what the dick eaters is going to tell you is, oh, but he made money. Did he share some of it with you that you so worried about his money? Everybody making money, bro. Canelo making money. Inoue making money. Usyk making money. Fury making money. AJ making money. Making money. Motherfuckers counting his money for him like he gonna spend it with them. You want Gervonta to take you shopping? Shit is crazy. I can't stand American boxing fans, to be real with you. I hate them motherfuckers. Most of them are dumb. Go to any American boxing group, you gonna see dumb shit. After a certain age, I'ma say it get dumb. If you talking about dudes in their 20s, yeah, that's all dumb shit. Now, if you talking about grown folk, 35 and up, okay, now you cooking with rice because these are people that were around for a better era of boxing that they can remember. But the young dudes, es un fracaso. Fracaso. Motherfuckers don't be knowing what they talking about. They rather sit there and argue about whether or not Gervonta gonna paint his nails, his fingernails, or his toenails. He got a chrome hearts bag. That's the shit they like. That's the shit they like. Did you see Gervonta's sweater? Look at his braids. De verdad, de verdad. That shit is not capped. Toda la vaina que yo te dije, it's all happening, bro. Que a ellos no les gustan el boxeo. Lo que les gusta son los hombres. That's what they into, bro. That's their shit. Motherfucking boxing ego literally posted a picture of Javante's braids as if he the one that did them. Type of shit are you on, bro? What type of time are you on? That's what we doing now? We posting other men's braids? Yo, them shits is hard. That shit crazy, bro. He got leg tattoos. Watch out now. That shit crazy, bro. What's going on out here? I've been telling y'all for like, I'm gonna say 4 years, four to 5 good years, that like, yo, it's a section of the boxing fans that they not into boxing. They really on some love and hip hop type shit, some Jocelyn type shit. You know Jocelyn, the goofy bitch that she really thinks she killing it and she look fucking retarded. That, yo, I seen a picture of that. I don't understand, bro. Stevie J was bugging. Yeah, you bugging, bro. Like, you're bugging. He was bugging. Shout out to Mr. Calderon. Ego twists his hair when he talks it for real, right? He be twirling that shit in his fingers. Shout out to my man Virtuoso. Tank fans watch his fights on all fours with their heels in the air, bro. Sucking on a lollipop. With both heels in the air, bro. La ira del pendejo. That's what the fuck this is, bro. La ira del pájaro. Pajarazo. Cucú. That's what this the era of, bro. Because the shit is gross. You could just tell, like, yo, that motherfucker probably be watching a boxing match holding his meat and shit. Look at that uppercut. Fruity ass. Motherfucker just sit there holding his dick, watching by. Ooh, look at those braids. Shit is disgusting, bro. So we at a point now where you can't be pound for pound. Basically, you could be a 4-division undisputed, 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, 2-time undisputed. You could clean out 2 weight classes, but you not pound for pound because my lazy ass don't want to do no research. Basically. Because I'm too fucking lazy. And the crazy shit is these are people that talk about boxing every fucking day. Shit is crazy out here. Y'all motherfuckers like, man, like I said, man, that's why I just stay in my lane, bro. Because I'm old. I don't got the patience for a lot of dumbass shit. Motherfucker, the internet is at your fingertips. Whatever you don't already know, you could find out. Your lazy ass just don't want to do nothing. That's all. Motherfuckers are sitting here stealing fights, stealing shit, then criticize it like, bro, really? Like, so like, what the fuck are you good for then? What are you good for? Even I'm a buy punk ass Benavidez fight. Y'all know I don't like that motherfucker. But I don't know. I hold myself to a different standard, I guess. Fuck, I look like shoplifting fucking. Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is ridiculous. That's one thing I will say. I seen that kid get assaulted by a member of Pacheco's team. And one thing I will say is, you know who need to get assaulted? The stream team. That's who need to get assaulted. Y'all motherfuckers got the nerve to be creating content about boxing and stealing that shit. Y'all got the fucking nerve. Whole boxing channels, monetize Twitter, monetize Instagram, making fucking videos and shit. Meanwhile, start up the kick stream. You got a lot of motherfucking nerve. But that's what it's all about now. Shout out to Open the Gates for the $10 Cash App donation to the Denmark, to the Danish Boxing Community Beer Fund. and I will be drinking this weekend. I'm gonna get 2 different cases of beer. I'm gonna get some Modelo. I'm gonna get some Cotrona. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, shit kill me, bro. But they've been waiting for something that they can use against Inui. I interpret it as a form of jealousy almost. In a sense that they see how some people talk about him and they don't like that. They want to tear him down. That some people say, yo, he number 1, or at minimum, he top 5. They don't like that. I've been saying they don't like the idea that a little dude from Japan is really like that. They don't like that. The same thing I said about Canelo, that, yo, it's people out there, they don't like the idea that the face of boxing is a little red-headed dude from Mexico. They don't like that. There's people like that. That's their real problem with it. When you break down their logic or whatever, right? You gonna come to the conclusion that you knew before you started, that this is not based on logic. This is not based on reasonable or rational. Your real problem is some other dumb shit. You know, and what he knew, that's the situation, because how long they've been trying to tear down that low ass man for doing what he needed to do. They've been doing that. That shit didn't start this year. That didn't start with that MJ shit. They've been doing that. They've been waiting for something they could say. Now y'all gonna pretend that y'all fuck with MJ, who y'all didn't watch neither, so y'all can say something about him.
Yo, they always got a fighter to swing their nuts from.
I'm telling you, bro. Boxing in America, I'm telling you, I'm about to go with Sawab. He gonna take me to the consulate. I'm gonna get my British citizenship. He gonna give me a machete, so I'm ready for these streets. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get me hip on the fashion out there. Fuck America, man. American boxing scene is a clown show. That shit is straight clowns. A lot of the content creators is just really eating a lot of dick. I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. I ain't even gonna do that.
Hey, Tank, what's your shoe size?
Hey, Tank, what you ordered at Taco Grande? Fuck out of my face, dog. Like, that shit is disgusting, bro.
Why do you think? Why do you think that there's so much Inoue hate? Why do you think they hate him so much? I mean, you can't argue his accolades. So what do you think is driven by?
It's because he's Japanese. My honest opinion. Why do you think they hate Usyk so much? Because he's white.
I would say it's more so probably because he's a foreigner. He's from a different country. That's why I think
I mean, like, yeah,
look,
if we round out the argument to say, okay, well, what's the problem they have with Canelo? Some people. What's the problem they have with Usyk? Or what's the problem they have with Inui? What's the problem they had with AJ? Because they had a problem with AJ. What was it? It's what you said. It's because they're foreigners. It's because they're not American. That's the problem. If it's not an American, they don't like them. They'll find a reason to not like them. They could do everything, bro. Look, when Josh Taylor became undisputed, did they give him any love? No, and he did it in great fashion. He did it and he looked good doing it. But they didn't give him no love. Usyk does it at cruiserweight. Man, ain't nobody watching cruiserweight. He do it again at heavyweight. Man, it's like, you know, after a while, too much ignorance, the way you deal with it is you don't. Because the reality is, a lot of them people you talking to, right? Your core audience, they don't buy shit. They don't buy shit. You could have 200, 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers of people that don't buy shit. You own, like, internet metrics are probably the only thing they're good for. Because when push comes to shove, David Benavidez is supposed to be a popular fighter in this market. But what is he going to sell this weekend? You think these motherfuckers gonna buy his fight? No.
I mean, the way they talk passionately about the fighters they follow and the brand of boxing they're into, it's not putting money in their pockets.
No, I mean, like, I would say that the reason they do it is because it's a nuanced market now, to where internet metrics in pursuit of them can get you paid. So they make their money pandering to an audience that shows no patronage. It's the weirdest thing that they're probably making more money off of these people than the boxers are because they don't buy shit.
That is amazing. There was a guy today or yesterday, I forget which it was. He was on the Boxing Voice, and he was talking about like the loss of revenue in boxing or something along those lines. He was an idiot, but he mentioned on live in front of people that he was, and I quote, tired of stealing shit. I know it's wrong. How are you going to call yourself? How can you have an opinion about a sport, right? And be opinionated about other fans when you literally telling yourself live, I'm not paying for the fights, and and he felt bad. He wanted to feel bad for not paying. I mean, I can't even imagine. It's like I'm into a crime.
No, it's like, look, I'm all for criminality. I'm all for it, but real shit, you know. What these guys are doing is tantamount to going to the fucking local bodega and stealing a thing of platins, bro. It's like, don't you have no shame? You don't respect yourself? Because that's how I look at it. Sometimes I understand, right? But I look at a lot of the people that talk about boxing every day. I look at them in a specific light because, well, you got time to talk about boxing every day. And God forbid that you're a content creator doing this, because then I really look down on you that you're literally getting paid off of this sport. Now, I'm not the most virtuous person, you understand? But if boxing pays me, yeah, I'm going to put some money back in the sport, because when boxing is doing well, then so am I. Common fucking sense. But you just got a lot of shitty people in the world, villain. Honestly, man.
Yeah, man.
You got a lot of shitty people in the world.
Well, being a shitty person is one thing, but literally, ratting yourself out in front of thousands of people is a different thing. If you're gonna do shit,
villain, do not underestimate the power of stupidity.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what it is.
You stupid people. It's like looking into a black hole, dog. It's like, yeah, like it's fucking incredible sometimes, dog. Like, are you really that stupid? Yeah.
Maybe I'm just naive. It has to be, because I know I'm not stupid, but to believe that people are this dumb to tell on themselves. There's shit that people post online that I take to the grave. I mean, I wouldn't tell my best friend.
There's a dude called Big Flame, right? Any video I've made about Gervonta, it'll be a common occurrence for him to go up to bat for Gervonta and whatever he's doing and whoever he's fighting, right? Coincidentally, he was recently on my man Clavo. He was on IBFP. Shout out to my man IBFP. Shout out to my man Clavo. Clavo basically got him to admit that he steals Gervonta Davis's fights. So the same guy that you're always talking up, that you're always kissing his ass, and you want him to be the best thing since sliced bread, you steal his fights. So even you don't think that his shit is worth it. But then you get mad at us for saying it openly, that the shit is trash. It's not worth your money. While you steal it. And it's like, you can't underestimate how stupid people are.
And another thing too, right? Oh, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna say, and another thing too, those people don't even recognize, like, you yourself, you don't buy this shit. You probably know the other dude that you're talking to, he doesn't buy this shit. And then you're going to go and tell me, no, the numbers that are said online are 100% true. And they're what's it called? And he's a big star, when literally you guys as fans have no interest in buying his shit.
The main people, if you go and you know this because of what the people in boxing are saying, that basically there's a high probability that the majority of people you see online or in a chat room, if they're American, based on the frequency of piracy that we see in this country in particular, for example, that there's a high probability that in all these boxing chat rooms or all these boxing channels or platforms like Twitter, the majority of people you see are not paying for boxing. If they're American, the majority of them. And it's just like Ray said, it's right in your face. You know that, all right, you're not buying the shit. You're not buying the shit. I'm not buying the shit, right? Example. All right, so basically everybody I know is on the Dream stream. So who's buying this shit then? And then turn around and tell everybody, yeah, yo, Gervonta killing it, man. Yeah.
You know what amazes me, Ring, is that they haven't even caught on to the hustle. Like, what I do is, well, I'm not a confess to it anyway, but they don't even know how to out hustle the promoters or the distributors. Because, like, listen, I'm gonna be buying Benavidez versus Morell this Saturday, but as a bootleg UK citizen. If you know
No,
what
he's
I
a
mean.
no, he's a UK. But see, here's the other thing, Virtuoso, and this is what sets some people apart. This is why it's not across the board for me. It's that you're not sitting here telling me how great Benavidez is, how great the PBC is. Oh, this event is.
Like
Oh,
even though I don't think this thing is worth that, I can understand their frustration why they even do it in the first place because pay-per-views have become overpriced here,
yeah.
and that's gonna crash the market eventually. So why not just like look for a way to sort of look for a discount, and not feel like a piece of shit for stealing it. You know
But
what I mean?
it begins and ends with the fighters that they support because this unstable market was created by them, and it's like I'm out of my wits because the
Yeah.
journalists don't write about it. They literally don't write about it. They don't talk
Right.
about it. That the inflation that you see in the market today. Yeah, the PBC started that. You know who
Right.
really started overpaying fighters before Eddie Hearn, before DAZN and all that shit even came to America? You know where that
$100
started?
pay-per-views, bro. $100
Right?
pay-per-views.
And it
Put
really
shit on the cards.
basically didn't go down either. That after because remember the pay-per-views used to be like $50. There was a time
Right.
like $50.
Look, all
After
I'm saying, Ring, is that these $25 pay-per-views that Turkey is allegedly promising cannot come quick enough, man.
no,
Well,
I
Especially in
love
the
it.
US
I
market.
fucking love it.
That's the funny part, though. These dudes don't like Turkey, but Turkey's bringing them a fight that's affordable to them if they weren't
Yeah.
stealing it.
They're thinking backwards.
Bro, it's the shit. It's crabs in a bucket. Like, I don't know if y'all familiar with that saying, but as a foundational Black American, we got a thing called crabs in a bucket. So y'all not even gonna check me on that. Basically, y'all just
Nah, I'm
let me
gonna
get
just
away
let
with
that one glide, bro. Just move on.
Oh,
Just move on,
no,
bro.
no, but
nothing else to say,
there's
bro.
an old saying. If you've ever observed crabs literally in a bucket, right? As one of them tries to climb out, the others will literally pull him down. Literally, they'll pull the other crab down, and that translates into this because here you have a guy who's trying to elevate the sport. He's trying desperately to elevate the sport and bring boxing to you at an affordable price, and you would rather bring the whole thing down, the whole establishment, the whole everything, because it's not Al Heyman doing it. Because you're just that fucking stupid. All Al ever wanted to do for boxing was treat it like it was a bank heist. That was his vision of boxing.
So
Fuck the
Go ahead,
fans. Fuck the fans. Fuck that. Let's make as much as we can, as quick as we can, and get the fuck out of here.
So let's go off what you're saying. Let's just say that that's accurate. What was their game plan when Al was done? So there's no longer a black man in charge, right? Then what was their plan after the black man no longer was running
I don't
PBC?
think that this is the thing. It's like crack. It's like crack money. They not thinking 10, 50 steps ahead, bro. They thinking fast money, fast money, fast money, and things are happening around them. Bro, you watch this channel. You know I talked about it for years that things are happening around these guys. They're not even paying attention. There's a reason that in videos I kept talking about TV ratings. That wasn't for no reason. And I think that went over a lot of people's heads, even people that have been with this channel for a very long time. The reason I kept talking about TV ratings is because this is not a lifetime deal you have with Showtime. It's going to end. And when it's over, the higher ups are going to look at those TV ratings. And based on that, they'll decide if they want to renew. Did they? No.
Nope.
I said they wouldn't. I said they're not. They're not. Everything on TV is simple. If it brings in ratings, they're going to throw money at it. If it doesn't, then they're not. It's very simple. It's not complicated. They make it seem like it's this weird. No, it's simple. They're in the business. I say it all the time. If a sock puppet with drawn on eyes gets 1 million or 2 million viewers on a Saturday night, they're going to want more episodes of that sock puppet. It doesn't matter how arbitrary or stupid it is. If you're bringing eyes to the platform, they're going to throw money at it. And if you're not, then they're not. Now, there are nuances that during a broadcast on PBC, you would never see any major brands advertised. Why? Because the ad block was worthless. Why was it worthless? Because the advertisers know nobody's watching this channel at this time. The metrics have been consistently bad for 5 years, and they've gotten worse and worse and worse, because I remember that the median viewership for a PBC show used to be in the neighborhood of 5 and 7. 5 and 7. This was 5 years ago. That even Arislandi Lara versus Jarrett Hurd, which came on very late at night, even that drew in a little over 500,000 viewers. But year by year by year, that number got smaller and smaller. And it's like, why is it getting smaller? What's happening? What's basically happening is the fighters that you should be using in these slots, you're putting them on pay-per-view. And they're on pay-per-view because they're fucking greedy, and you're acquiescing to their greed that, bro, you don't belong on pay-per-view, Javante. You would better service the Showtime platform on a regular schedule. You want to fight Leo Santa Cruz, yeah, you could probably do 1 million viewers on the regular schedule or 2 million viewers on the regular schedule. But on pay-per-view, the sacrifice that we'd be making is too great. But they did it, because you do a pay-per-view, it's a sacrifice. You're cutting off an entire portion of the audience that will not see that fight or not see it legally, so that you can make a few dollars. It's got to be worth it. And time again, he's been on pay-per-view 7 times, villain. 7. Going on 8.
Hey, Jules,
Yeah,
what you gotta
Julius,
remember though.
yeah.
No, this don't let you go. My bad. I can want to rant.
Good.
No, don't you think that Eddie Hearn at one time had something to do with that shit, that the PBC was reactionary, because Eddie Hearn was trying to I'm not gonna say corner the market, but he was trying to overpay some of the fighters on the PBC side, and the PBC said, okay, we're gonna have to make a couple of pay-per-views, especially with guys like Yorvante, that at $7 million for a Teofimo fight, you have to make a pay-per-view to make.
Espera, Leo, ¿tú sabes por qué? Their reaction to what the Zone did. What the Zone did was a reaction to what they did. The instability in the market was literally created by them, literally in 2014. For example, you have Danny Garcia getting out there getting 1.5 million to fight Ivan Redkach. That's ridiculous. In a non-title fight at that. That was a non-title fight. He's fighting Ivan Redkach. The money that he was getting, and he's one of the more egregious examples that you shouldn't be getting that kind of money for that kind of fight. You shouldn't, bro. No, it's insane. So the overpaying, it's almost like the Zone came into a dice game that already started before they got there. So you got to pay what they playing. I mean, like, to get in the game, you got to put up a certain amount because that's the game now, you know? But that really started in 2014. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's it called? What really happened in the PBC is that, they brought in a big checkbook, because they came in with a big checkbook, and then once those checks started to run out, they got upset that, well, everybody else around them, their fans got upset that everybody else started walking in with their bigger checkbooks. You know, you had the Zone coming in with a bunch of people, a lot of big backers and Matchroom, and they were able to pay guys a lot of money, and people got upset. And then Turkey comes in, and he's like, well, people have just been paying a lot of money, so I'm going to go and I'm going to pay a lot of money. And PBC at this point, because they weren't billionaires, you know, Al's not one, he was getting money from somebody else. Eventually that runs out, and now they just can't work as a business anymore.
Yeah, they
the
can't
market
keep up
is
with
so
the
high.
standard. They can't keep up with the standard they set, basically. Because fighters, if you go to that era right before the PBC, look at Floyd Mayweather's career up until the point he fights Oscar. Look at what he was getting paid. That should tell you everything. And Floyd was better before he fought Oscar. Floyd was better than their entire roster. But he wasn't even getting paid the way they was getting paid. He wasn't. He said it himself. These fighters are getting paid too much. He said that. So they basically couldn't keep up with the standard they set. Now they're falling behind, and what Turkey's kind of doing, I don't know if it's going to work. He's got a hell of a war chest, you know, but he's basically undercutting everyone. I don't know that that's going to work. I hope it does, but that's what he's doing. He's undercutting. If the median price for a pay-per-view in America is 80 and he's charging 25, yeah, that's a big undercut, and he can afford it.
I was just going to ask you, how long is this sustainable? at this rate, can he afford to continue putting on these massive cards? I mean, how deep is that war chest, do you believe? How many years do we have?
I mean, I think it's deep. Like if it were just unlimited, you know, like I don't believe in fairy tales, villain. So I don't believe that this is gonna last because nothing lasts. Absolutely nothing lasts. You know. So in a very general sense, I don't imagine that this is gonna go on forever. Is the war chest deep enough that this could go on for say 10 years? Yeah, hypothetically, but I don't think that's gonna be the situation. I don't. I think what the promoters need to do while Turkey is making these huge fights with established names is this is your opportunity to grow your not so well-known fighters domestically. This is your opportunity. Like look at Top Rank, for example. They took your headache away in Teofimo. They want to give him a 3-fight deal. So you don't have to pay Teofimo for his next 3 fights if he takes the deal. He's not your problem anymore. So pour that money into Xander. Pour that money into Yanibek. Pour that money into Bruce. Pour that money into Abdullah, because that's a surplus of cash now. Before, you had a contract guarantee to honor in Teofimo. Now you don't have to do that. So you can take that cash and invest it in someone else. Like, that's what everybody needs to be doing right now, not just Top Rank. Matchroom needs to do that. Queensbury needs to do that. That he's only really using the people that are built already, the names that are built already. So, okay, fuck it. Go ahead. That's money we don't got to pay out. That gives us a cash surplus to do more domestic shows to build the next generation of names, because that needs to happen. You cannot get rid of the domestic scene because that's where the names are built. That's where the big fights are built. I don't think this goes on forever. I can't give you an exact ETA, but it's hard for me to say that 5 years from now, we're still going to be paying $25 for a pay-per-view. I don't fucking think so, bro. I don't.
Yeah, Jules. How much does Matrimony really even have those type of guys? To be honest,
Yes.
like besides like AJ and like Canelo, really?
Yes. You mean established names, right?
Yeah, that like require like a ton of money that are like eyesores and when their check comes in.
Okay, so let's say that Bam is one of those guys because Turkey wants to use him.
I wouldn't say, but
no,
he doesn't
just,
get paid like that though.
No, he
you mean
get,
okay? I see what you mean.
Because he wants to use him. You see what I mean? That established names in the sense that okay, these brands are more or less built, or they're on the eve of being built. That you've got Bam, you've got Boots, who he wants to use. Like I'm pretty sure he's going to want to use him after the Stanionis fight. You have I don't really count AJ. He's circling the drain. But you have Bivol, you have Madrimov. You see what I mean? That there are guys that he's using. So there are other guys that they're not using. You just signed 3 Olympians, 3 very good ones, by the way. You got Tiramoana from Australia. You got the heavyweight from the UK. You got Omari Jones, right, from America.
They got Verde, I heard.
Oh, the Mexican kid, right?
Yeah,
right. So these are the guys that you want to build them. These are your next wave of stars because hey, you done did what you could do with AJ. Nothing against him, by the way, but I'm just saying that he said it himself. The end is nigh. He's not going to be around forever. How many fights does he really have left in him? So that's done. That work is done. Now it's time to grow these fighters domestically, and this is your next generation of champions. That needs to happen because I love what he's doing for boxing. Don't get me wrong. But nothing this good lasts.
Lasts forever, yeah. Hey, Jules Moraes says that in Australia.
One second. Can you guys hear me?
Hold on. Shout out to motherfucking Jonathan Lambarena. Get you some Sapporo's B, my type of brew. No, I'm gonna get some Negra Modelo, case of Coronas, 6-pack, and we're gonna fucking watch David beat David. Pedro said, "Donde es Benavidez from? Y en down under." Clavo said, thanks for the shout out and for the soundbite. Appreciate you for getting that soundbite, Clavo. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, my man from the UK. I heard the accent. Go ahead. Oh, shit, I got more shit, my fault, bro. I got more super chats. Let me just read through them and I'll pass it to you. Pedro said, still paying $2 for a comment. I appreciate them $2, dog. Gooch said, the question is, can Turkey turn a profit? Is there a path to profitability? If the answer is no, he will eventually exit the sport. That's the...
I mean, just enjoy him while he's here. That's what I said.
Well, that's what I've been saying, bro. Like, go ahead. My man in London, go ahead.
I think that was Swab that was talking.
As a
That
Brit,
wasn't.
I don't fucking understand why
Guess what? Floor's yours.
dollars.
You cut out,
Oh shit,
so
I got him.
I think he's delayed.
Oh, Heyman got him. Shit.
Yeah, he did, man.
Mirage says the pay-per-view price is
Oh
$50
my
in
god, Chloe
Australia.
Bailey, bro. Chloe Bailey.
Can you guys hear me?
Dude, shut
Oh
up.
my
I was
god,
saying-
Chloe,
Yeah, I
yo.
got you.
Can I
Yo,
just
she's
say,
too
Chloe
fine,
is
bro.
fucking ridiculous, dog. Like, she needs to be ejected from. Like, that shouldn't even be allowed. Like, this is
Too
not
much
fair,
ass,
dog.
bro. It's too much
Can
ass.
can you guys let Country get what I was gonna say? Go ahead, Country.
Thank you. Mirage was saying that the pay-per-view price in Australia at this point is $50. He looked it up. So how does that compare to what we've been,
We gotta look at the. I don't know what the conversion rate is for $50. I don't know what that translates to in American dollars, but I imagine that $50 in Australia. I'm gonna
Is
go
that
out on.
even
I'm gonna
is
go
that
out
even
on.
real money? Is
I'm
that
gonna-
real money?
It's not. It's fucking wampums, bro. You remember wampums?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No. But in all seriousness, I'm gonna say that I think I'm not sure, and you guys can correct me on this. I believe $50 Australian is about $30 American. I believe.
It's like Monopoly money. It doesn't really exist. It's fake.
Yeah, like if you use it at McDonald's, you could probably get like a bagel, like a egg McMuffin, like shit like that.
Small
Look,
coffee,
can you
100.
guys
I
hear
just
me?
looked it
Look,
up. I just looked
I-
it
I
up.
got
So
a
what?
question
Go ahead,
as a
so
Brit.
Go ahead, Sawab. Go ahead, Sawab.
Look, as a Brit, I don't understand in America why is the price point of the pay-per-view so high in America? $80. I ain't paying for that shit.
Price gouging, bro. Like there's no deep explanation, Sawab. It's just plain old price gouging. That's
As an
it.
American, I don't understand why you guys eat beans with everything. Can you explain
Yeah,
that?
I'm not gonna understand that
I mean,
shit.
beans
Bro.
are healthy.
The first time you
Yeah,
wake
but
Beans are
up,
not
good,
for
bro. It makes you
breakfast, bro.
fart.
Like
yeah.
Yeah, for breakfast. But wait,
depends on what you get.
Don't Mexicans do that? No.
Mexicans don't eat beans for breakfast, bro.
Refried beans, that shit. Or is that
Not for
that lunch-
breakfast, bro.
lunch thing?
That's
No,
Well,
Mike,
for
we
me-
eat tacos every day on every
American
meal.
and Australian $1.50 is like $31.30 in our money.
See, I fucking
Listen,
it's fucking
in
country,
England, not
man.
everyone has beans, bro. All right, not everyone has a full English breakfast. I
Jules,
have a
quick question.
fucking
Yeah,
omelet,
those,
Afghan
They
style
got brown
omelet.
those are English
sauce.
speak-
Who's got the question? Somebody had a question.
Yeah, Jules, quick question, man. So let's say Tito takes his 3-fight deal and he gets by freaking Hitchens, Boots, and the winner of Haney versus Garcia, right? Do you think he becomes a headache for Turkey?
No, to be honest with you. Like honestly, bro, that's really a Hail Mary fairy tale scenario, honestly. But I do not think he becomes a headache for Turkey because his whole issue has always been that he wants to be overpaid. Well, Turkey's the only one that can do that. He's the only one who can
Can I
pay
just
him
add-
well above market value.
But don't
Can
you
I
think
just
that
add to
he's
that?
don't you
Real
think
quick.
he's a guy that will snatch victory from defeat though? I mean, with all due respect, Teal's delusional half the time. He always
Yeah.
finds a reason to bitch and moan.
Yeah, but the bitching and moaning has always been centered around the same thing, and there's never been a solution to that problem. From the very beginning, the issues that he had with Top Rank were centered around he wanted to be paid extra for George. And it was just, we've been all through it, you know, but basically you wanted to be paid above market value for what was not a big fight. And that's the issue that he has now, that you want above market value for this fight and this fight. And there's only one guy who's going to pay you above market value consistently. That's Turkey.
Yo,
So I
just
don't
wanna add
really,
to that real quick.
I don't think, hold on, I don't think there would be an issue between him and Turkey. I think the reality of it is, though, that the way that Turkey likes to match these guys, you will lose. Yeah, you'll lose. Whether it's Hitchens or somebody else, you'll lose. So, get Virtuoso.
Yo, it's like, all right, if the turkey bag is not unlimited, right? Eventually, these fighters are gonna need that reality check, that they're not gonna be paid buku dollars, right? I mean, part of the reason why he's even involved is because of that. I mean, weren't we supposed to get like Fury versus Usyk in 2022? But then Fury was like all bitching and moaning about the fucking pay and shit like that. Like he wanted the lion's share of it, and eventually this guy had to step in it, and pay these two guys what they deserve.
Yeah, but what's going to happen in a situation like that where you're looking for money that doesn't exist, and in this scenario where Turkey's not involved anymore, right? That's the scenario we're imagining. Okay, you're going to sit out and you're not going to make money.
Right.
And other draws are going to sprout around you because boxing isn't going to the thing is that people think about that and think it's a doomsday scenario when it's not. When Mikey Garcia sat out for 3 years, right? Boxing went on. It went on without you. When Andre Ward sat out for 2 years, as whatever they thought about you, dog, whatever, boxing went on without you. So if you got Hasidity fighters that they're looking for money that doesn't exist and there's nobody around that'll give it to them and the promoters aren't going to do it right, okay, boxing will go on without you. It always does. The show will go on.
Hey, Jules, Drew
The
left
way
you
it
a
is,
super
Jules,
chat.
at the moment. Well, when was the last time Teofimo fought?
Jeez, earlier last year.
Sandro
He
Martin?
Last
fought.
year.
He fought Claggett.
Claggett.
That's-
That
I
was
want to
in
say it was in
October, right?
April.
I think that was
Claggett.
Last with a gay slur.
Claggett.
Like one fight in
Pretty
2
sure
years.
that was April.
No, that wasn't one fight in 2 years. He fought
No,
two
he had
guys
two.
that
He
year.
had two
fought
fights. He
Jermaine
had two.
earlier that year.
He had two shitty fights. He had the shitty Jermaine Ortiz fight last year at the very beginning.
Yep.
Then he had Claggett.
Boxing would be better without him.
He fought Claggett in June.
Yeah, in the summer.
How did it go for him? How much did he make? Did he make it what he wanted?
No, I mean but that's the point that
But he said he's never gotten $1 million as a
he's
guarantee.
listen, can I tell you, it's not that he didn't get paid $1 million. He's doing the same thing that Brian Norman's manager was doing. You're talking about what you took home. You get $1 million, you get over $1 million, but you have people you have to pay. You got to pay your manager, you got to pay your I'm assuming you pay your father. It's my understanding that you're the breadwinner of the family, so you got a lot of people you pay. Did he make $1 million? Yes. Did he clear it? No, not after his deductions. That's what it
taxes,
is.
But I don't think he's smart enough to realize he needs to pay taxes.
Yeah, he's a fucking moron. Drew said, "Villain is going to bounty us for lusting after Chloe."
That's correct. You're already on thin ice. I let you know that.
Listen, man. Shout out to Santiago. Jules, are you from New York? No, I'm from Boston. Me and Villain is from Boston, bro. Like, I ain't from fucking I hate fucking New York, bro. It stinks.
What planet is that?
No, but look, fighters like you, they live under the delusion that a promoter only has to make or has to break even promoting and paying him, or has to make, I don't know, $5,000 for the event, or he has to lose money in order for him to make the most money. It doesn't make sense, dude. It's your promoter, but he has to profit from your career. Yeah, you have to pay him, but he has to profit from your career.
Es que por más que estos tipos want to fancy themselves as business guys, they literally don't understand the business that they're in. It's either that or you're just fucking greedy. It could be either one. Because it's just like you said, you want money that doesn't exist. Basically, you either want the promoter to pay you money that they're not going to get back, that they're going to lose money on the show, but you don't care. You don't care. As long as you get what you want.
You know what I always think? I think the undercard fighter, they take a pay cut just to beat Javante.
Bro, shit is ridiculous. Shout out to M.A. Bustamante. Saludos, Ring. These tank fans are a new breed. In our time, you had to pay top dollar for a black box to steal a fight, and pay-per-view was marquee fights. No one would have... nobody would. You're absolutely right. Nobody would. En eso tiempo, you were getting fucked. Remember, Gaddy versus Ward won. Not a pay-per-view, bro. That was a regular fight. A classic. That was a regular fight.
Wait, Jules, could I ask you something? So, like, it's about Tio. So, like, these 3 fights that are gonna happen, he's not like. I'm assuming none of them are technically being promoted by Top Rank, right? These are gonna be like Turki Alalshikh and other people's shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he'd still be on the hook with Top Rank, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing that I'm confused about. I saw somebody's video, and it kind of pissed me off because he mentioned something that Teal said earlier after the Norman fight fell out, right? With Ness. And basically, Ness asked him, he said, hey, was the only reason why that fight not happening because you wanted it in LA? And Tio said, no, I can talk about this now. The other reason why I didn't want to have that fight is because there's a clause in my contract. If I'm
If he
meant to
gets a
win
title,
another championship,
yeah, he's
I have
he's
to
on the
do
hook.
5 more fights.
Mhm.
So I'm just thinking about it now. If you're wondering why I was pissed off, he called out 3 champions and made us all pretend that he wanted to fight all of them, even though, you know, you'd have more fights with Top Rank.
Bro, why do you
But
think? Why do you think I don't like him? Why do you think like he thinks, bro? He's that moron that really thinks he's smart. He like you giving your own. So basically, you didn't want to fight for a title because you don't want to stick with Top Rank, but you want us to believe you want to fight Boots. You want to you want to fight Crawford, which would keep you on the hook with Top Rank, bro. Like.
and another thing too, remember, he stopped. He didn't want to have a fight with Matias, a guy that's non-champion, a guy that I would say realistically, if you're talking about guys outside of like Haney and Ryan and, you know, those guys, I would say he's the most popular guy there. And then the fight that would be on pay-per-view, you rejected that, and you asked for Richardson Hitchens, who's a champion that nobody knows, and you still want to fight him now. So wouldn't you have another 5 fights with Top Rank anyway?
This is how you settle it, because that's honestly that's the industry standard. By the way, that's an industry standard that if you win a title, they're gonna add on more fights to your contract. Like, he's not the only one with an arrangement like that. That's not the only time I've ever heard that. But here's the crux of it: you're gonna lose. I already know it. You're gonna lose if you do this thing with Turkey for the money. You're gonna do it. And then you're going to lose. You'll be the next American to get exposed. Could be the next fight. Could be the one after that. But you'll lose. And then it'll be up to Top Rank to decide if they want to cut you loose or if they want to hang on to you. It'll be up to them, because they can reserve the right to cut you loose. They're like, the way he got his ass beat, yeah, we don't, yeah.
He kind of told on himself, though, because when he was having that same interview, Ness asked him about, he was fanning the flames of, you know, using race as a way to push fights or draw attention. And he self-admitted that, you know, I'm a throwback. Like, I want the old guys, this is how they used to do it. Basically, he told on himself, it was just, whatever he says is what he says, because he's trying to get the fight. So it didn't, or trying to draw attention for the fight, and he's using the past as being a way to do it. But what I mean by he told on himself, one moment. So what I told on himself, how I think he told on himself was, you can't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. He self-admitted that I'll say whatever it is. You can't believe a word that the guy says.
No, I would say that, look, he's a racist. That's the first thing. Like, I can tell that right away. 2, we don't need to call people monkeys and talk about bananas to sell a Devin Haney fight. We don't need to do that. That fight has a story already. It has a backstory. You guys have been parallel to each other, orbiting each other for years now. So you don't need to do all these things about calling people. Nah, you do that because you want to do that.
No, I don't disagree. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm saying that I don't believe that word that ever comes out of his mouth. And that's a very convenient way to excuse his racism. I'm with you. I believe he probably does feel that way, but that's just his way to make excuses for everything to go away.
I believe that you had a Freudian slip with your racism, because see, this guy's not complicated. He's a dork. You trying to do what Ryan did. These things happen within proximity of each other. You know, Ryan has a racist rant. Tio has a racist rant. Ryan tries to break away from Golden Boy. Tio tries to break away from Top Rank. He's like very unoriginal, this guy. Like, you can see it clear as day. Now, people are not going to have the reaction to your racist rant that Ryan has, because Ryan, he's reached that weird level where teenage girls want to throw their maxi pads at you and shit. They like him, you know. They like Ryan. Nobody likes you that much, Tio, except maybe one guy, and I'm not going to say his name. He really likes Tio, but other than that,
no, it's Tio is the living embodiment of the expression "never argue with a retard." Like, they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. So don't waste time understanding the man.
It's not that he's doing the Holmes versus Cooney shtick. It's that you're cleaning up the bullshit you did, because people don't even understand why you did it. The only reason you would have said what you said is because you're a racist. Because, come on, dog. Everybody's got situational awareness. You know what the fuck you're saying. You know how you sound when you say that shit. So let's just call a spade, all right? Like, you don't even want to own the shit you say, which is what makes you an even bigger bitch. That I'm not saying what Ryan did was okay, but he owned that shit. More than Teofimo, at least. Like,
Yo,
bro, like,
you know what it is? I think when Teo, like the first time he was actually racist, where he said, "If y'all want the black fighters, y'all could keep them." I think that was 100% genuine. That was real. Like he was real upset that day because he wasn't getting paid. But after that, I remember when they put him in the interviews after and stuff, and he started to backtrack and he started getting upset. Ryan, he backtracked a little bit, but after he saw with Ryan, he was like, "Oh, I gotta keep on doing this, bro. This is popular."
Yeah, because at that time and I already knew that Shakur's guarantee is bigger than Teofimo's. I knew that. I knew that Terrence's guarantee was bigger than Teofimo's. Nobody ever gets into the why though. It's not even that you lost. It's your metrics are not as good as theirs. Literally, they're not. Well, Crawford was at Top Rank. If you look at when he renewed the deal, the numbers that he brought in for the Benavidez fight, it was like 2 million or something. He had the most watched fight of any kind, even MMA. He had the most watched fight that year. And Crawford's metrics were consistently good outside of pay-per-view. Outside of that. Then you look at Shakur's metrics. Yo, look, his fights are fucking boring. I think we can all agree on that. But his numbers were consistently good.
1 million per fight at a certain point.
Consistently. Teo, you don't know. Your numbers don't be looking like that, bro. They don't. And you lost.
And you know what's funny? Some people are gonna say, "Oh, well, Top Rank never put him in that position." And I would like to direct everybody. Remember that fight with I think it's Michaela Mayer and Sandy Ryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
993. I wonder what would have brought that fight to 1 mil or even more, maybe even 2. Probably
Right?
Teofimo Lopez, who decided to stay home that day.
All the problems that he has is because he's like a guy that wants to start a business or something. I'm not even going to say that because guys that want to start a business. That's not him. He's the guy who talks about how he wants to do all these things, but he spends all his time on the font. The color of the letter. It's like, bro, like you put your energy into the wrong shit. Before you try to become all these things that you're trying to do, you need to be the best fighter you can be, and you're not there. You're not.
Yeah, something I want to add that we are in this weird time when mental health is weaponized as a cop out for every time motherfucker is out of pocket. I am bipolar, I have depression, or I am autistic. If something is, there's always an excuse to be a piece of shit.
I got jock itch, mental health.
They don't even say what specifically anymore. They just say I have mental health.
No, because that's a pseudo term. Like, no, what, you're schizophrenic? Are you schizophrenic? Because if you're schizophrenic, well, listen,
bipolar?
I don't think you're schizo, because if you were, I don't think you'd get cleared by a board to box. So it's not that.
If you were bipolar, that would help you box. Fuck it, bro. That anger that they got, shit.
Wow. I just think motherfuckers are slightly retarded. Ness and them running with Eddie's Inouye slander. Go ahead, man. Because them motherfuckers liked Inouye before that? No. Y'all like Javante, man. Just focus on Javante. He got a fight coming up. Pedro said, all that $1 million man, Ted DiBiase. Try to tell you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Teo, it's simple. You feel entitled, honestly. I get some of it, and some of it I don't get. You beat Lomachenko, so I understood a little bit then, but you didn't want to understand the circumstances. People were not back yet. They weren't. Everybody was taking a haircut on pretty much everything at that time. Without live gate revenue, everybody was taking a haircut. You could have been understanding. You chose to be greedy. It is what it is. But what you're not getting is you lost to George, bro. You lost. What are they supposed to give you after that? You lost.
No. The thing is that I understand being a little greedy after the Lomachenko fight, and I understand them saying no. But at that point, you put yourself in a position where your next loss was your ass.
Yeah.
Who's calling pizza, man?
It's fucking country, bro. I bet you it's
Country,
country.
country, country. You
I bet
get
you it's country.
Uber
Motherfuckers
Eats,
ordering pizza, bro.
Uber Eats, country. What do we got going on?
Yeah, no, I know, boring, but I'm not that
It's
bored.
Look at
fucking
everything
country,
else
bro.
going, bro.
I'm watch. I'm gonna mute it and see. It was country. It was country because I just muted the
What did I
shit.
do? What did I do?
Was your phone ringing, country?
Oh yeah, I forgot to hit the
Con-
mic.
I
Sorry.
fucking
Con-
told you.
Country will call his accountant when he's on live. He'll do his taxes at the same time.
It's almost tax season, but yeah,
Hey, at
like
least I don't snore or fall
the
asleep.
thing is,
The
no, and the
fuck?
other thing is that a fighter like Shakur, for example, out of the amateurs, he's gonna come out of the amateurs and walk into a better deal than most other fighters, like a Teofimo, for example, because he was a standout amateur, he was an Olympian. So the deal's already gonna be better than anything that Teofimo was getting. Now, I will say that, in fairness, Shakur delivered better metrics over a longer period to ESPN than Teofimo did. So if he makes more, and he did, it was completely warranted that, yeah, he's getting a $3 million guarantee a fight, and you're probably getting, I don't know, 1.5, maybe 2, if you're lucky. But you should get less than him because you deliver less than him. He's not the one out here losing to George Cambodia.
Also, low key, and I think this kind of goes under the radar. I'm not saying all his fights are boring, right? I'm not saying that he hasn't had any entertaining fights. But when you kind of look at Teofimo Lopez, when he got to the more like elite level or like solid level, I don't know, some of those performances, like, okay, so let's say like Lomachenko, right? I remember a Mexican dude talked about it, and he said, yeah, low key, that fight was fucking boring. Like, if you want to see a real fight, go watch
bro.
Yeah, a
Quadros
lot of
versus
people say it's boring.
It wasn't a
what's
good
it called,
fight,
too?
bro. It wasn't a good fight to watch. Like, it really wasn't. It was tense. It's like, you know, we're boxing nerds. We love shit, but really, that wasn't. Yo, Berenchik versus Zepeda was a way better fight than that.
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
that shit was over.
Fucking fight was retarded, bro.
Come on, yo.
And
That
then,
shit
like,
don't-
you look at past that fight, and it's like, okay, so after that, the Kambosos fight, that was great, but you lost in a horrible upset. That shouldn't have been a great fight. That should have been execution. And then the fight with Kampa, that was cool. I wouldn't say it was a barn burner, though. And then what was his fights after that? A pack of ass with Sandor Martin. Great fight with Josh Taylor.
Did you say
And
a pack
then-
of ass?
Yeah,
He
bro.
lost. He lost, by the
And
way.
then-
They lost.
and then
That
two
was a
packs
terrible
of ass
showing.
after
Yeah,
you
bro.
beat Josh Taylor.
Tio he's just not the same guy from 35. But you watch the highlights from 35, that dude was like pure destruction. You know what I mean?
Power's
This
not
guy,
carrying.
Shout
140.
out to my man Tony Boswell for the Cash App donation to the Malaysian Beer Fund of Asia. The reason he can't be who he was at 35, Michael, is
He's not
because
that big.
he's not that big.
And the
that's
power-
how you
and the power
bro,
did
and the
not
thing is
carry.
that's how you could tell the dudes that's really truly nice. Like, yeah, they boxing is just on point, you know? That Bam is at Superfly who he was at Fly. It didn't change. Like, yeah, he still got some shit. You know, you look at Junto, 3 divisions Junto moved up. You see what I mean? That there's guys that they bread and butter is not just, yeah, I'm fast and I hit hard. They box and move up with him. Whereas Tio, a lot of your shit was that you were a big, strong lightweight. That was what you had. He's a big, strong kid. He's got some speed. But
the
at
power
140,
didn't move up too. That's the
you
problem
not
as
that
well.
at 140, you not that big. At 140, you don't really hit that hard.
But everybody's gonna have a cap. I mean, eventually someone goes up enough. Even look at Canelo. Canelo, he's not the same guy at 175. So I mean, Tio doesn't even move up anymore. Then I mean, this is his ceiling. That's it.
It's just a question of how much can you accomplish before you hit that ceiling, because to your point, everybody's got it, bro. They're only human, you know. You're not gonna see a bunch of Manny Pacquiao's running around here moving up 7 times, you know, like that's just not normal. So everybody's got a ceiling, but how much can you get done before you hit that ceiling, you know? And I mean, I don't think Tio has a bad resume, but there's a lot of context, though. There's a lot of context. Like, was you really like that? I don't really think you was like that, bro. I don't really think you like that.
Okay, I want to say two things about Teofimo. First of all, it was about bad luck. at one point because you move up to super lightweight and it was a bunch of pure boxers you had to face. So is that like you face Germain Ortiz and Sandor Martin. Those are fighters that nobody wants to fight, really.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see, but not even for free.
No.
And the other thing is, look, we are talking about the Claggett fight.
Claggett!
The fucking Claggett fight. I think Teofimo was at one point that you are not getting up for this fight, and you are not doing a good camp. You are not studying the tape.
Yeah, but you know what, Leo? Like, you know why I don't give him that pass? I hear people say that like, oh, well, the guy doesn't get up for that fight. But Terrence Crawford got up for Felix Diaz, bro. He got up for that fucking fight, bro. You see what I mean? He got up for a past it Kell Brook. He stayed who he was, even though, yeah, this is not a big fight. It's not a great fight.
John Molina. He got up for John Molina.
Beat the shit out of John Molina, by the way. You know, he beat the shit. Look, in between the time he leaves Top Rank and he fights Spence, he stayed in character with David Evanesian. It wasn't, oh, well, Crawford looked like shit because he didn't get up. Like, no, he fucking got up for all them shits. So when you're that guy, when you're that fighter, yeah, we don't gotta keep saying, well, he don't really get up for that. You know what I mean? Like, he gotta have a Pop-Tart. Like,
Also, I don't buy that shit. Hang, before you go, man, I don't buy that shit because it's like you got up for the crippled remains of Josh Taylor. Oh, that's what you got up for?
Right. Or is it that because and a lot of it is common sense. Like, look, it doesn't have to be me saying it. It's still the truth. Josh was coming off a dubious win that most people didn't think he won, and a year of inactivity with an injury. And that's the one time at 140 where you look good. Every other fight, it was meh. Every other fight, Claggett, Ortiz, Martin, you ain't look nothing special with Campas.
Okay, two more things. Look, you were talking about Felix Diaz and Kell Brook. You better be fully awake to face those guys because even at that time, those guys could fuck you up. Yeah. But I'm not making an excuse really for fucking Teofimo. You, hypothetically, not getting up for those fights, that shit is bad because for me that communicates a lack of professionalism, really. Because you have to be ready at full capacity at every fight. In the same way the other greats were. We were talking about Usyk, Terrence Crawford, all these guys. Yeah, like, even fucking Canelo knocks the fuck out of Gildery.
You know, do you think Usyk is biting his fucking nails when they tell him he's fighting Chaz Witherspoon? Or when he's fighting a Derek Chisora in Eddie Hearns' backyard, but you got to get the fucking job done, and they get the job done, you know? And I'm just so sick of this thing with like, yeah, Tio, get up for the big fight. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Shout out to Open the Gates. I love you too, dog. Love you too, dog. Drew said, does biased brim ride harder for Norman Jr. than lunch truck boxing does for Tio Weirdo?
Hey, man. Hey, you know, the best way you can describe Tio's resume is cockamamie. You know?
Yeah.
For real.
It's like, no, because I try, like, you know I don't like him, Country. You know I don't like him.
Nope.
But I try to be fair that, okay, you beat two champions at 135, and one of them was like the dude, you know, right? The dude to beat at 135. And you beat Josh Taylor. But these... I don't know, it's just far and few, bro, that like, you know that Lomachenko victory is from fucking 5 years ago, right? That shit was a minute ago, bro. That shit wasn't yesterday. That was a minute ago.
We can sum it up in one sentence. Joshua Clottey has the better resume than Teofimo Lopez.
What? Nah, that's disrespectful.
What are you, right? Hold on. What are the wins you're saying? I know Corrales is one of them. What's the other one?
What?
Just an overall who we faced, like... Okay, he
Oh,
didn't
never
win
mind.
them
You
all,
losing me.
but
You
Antonio
losing me. You losing me.
Margarito,
Nah,
That's,
you're done.
you know,
that's
Zab Judah,
crazy.
Zab Judah,
That's
he beat Zab
crazy
Judah.
talk, bro. That's crazy talk, bro.
Zab Judah and Corrales. I put those wins over.
I'll say Zab.
No,
I'll give
no,
this-
no, 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 no.
We can't say Zab. We can't.
Okay, no, you can say Zab over like Josh Taylor, I would say. But I would not say Zab over Lomachenko, and I wouldn't say Corrales over Josh Taylor. Nah.
Just T.O.'s just not that dude. Like he's just not that dude, bro. Like, and I knew that. Like underneath it all, I knew, yo, when he gets to 40, he's not gonna be the way that he was at 35. He's just because your thing is you could tell the physical fighters from the strategists. You know, not to say that I'm partial to strategists. I'm not. It's just that there's a difference. There's guys that can move up in weight and be the same dude because really what's their bread and butter is their strategy, their boxing. They have physical gifts. Like Junto has physical gifts, but he's not just a big, strong kid. He's a good boxer. He's a good boxer. He knew he is a good boxer. Whereas Tio, you were a good physical specimen, but not much else.
Just
Shout out to
muscle.
Shout out to Ren. Just want to know your thoughts. Do you consider Pac an 8th division champion despite not winning an alphabet title at 126 and 140? Didn't he hold the Ring Magazine belts at those weights? 126 and 140. Didn't he win the ring in those at those weights?
Yeah, but they're not alphabet. I think he's saying like at the IBF, the WBO.
No, I know. Like he didn't win an alphabet title, but he did win the Ring Magazine at those weights, didn't he?
Not at 40, Jules. He didn't win any belts at 40. Remember, he skipped 40. He went from 35 to 47.
But all right. My thing is, I know that there are two divisions where he didn't win an alphabet title, but he did win the Ring Magazine title. And I say to that, yes, those count. The Ring Magazine is better than an alphabet title because you have to fight somebody in the top 10 to win the Ring Magazine title. To me, that qualifies even more than just an alphabet title. And I think that was the Margarito fight where he won the ring. He didn't win an alphabet title in that fight. I think
Margarito had the ring.
I think they gave it. I think that's the one where Pacquiao won the Ring Magazine title for that fight.
Why would they? That's confusing though. Why would they give Margarito the ring at the time? Wouldn't it be like Mosley, who would have had the ring at the time since he beat Margarito?
Bro, look, I'm older, right? Why don't you give me a fucking break? Because I'm fucking old. You fucking break, bro. Fucking old.
Oh, wait, maybe it was Cotto.
Yeah, maybe it was Cotto. I'm gonna go take a shit. I'll be right back after these commercial messages.
This episode of Ring IQ brought to you by HP Brown Sauce and Dubai.
But at that time, Pacquiao already beat Mosley and Cotto.
Oh, he had already beat them like earlier?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think that fight was after the Mosley and the Cotto fights.
Then maybe he was wanted in one of those fights and then just fought Margarito after. That's more understandable. Cause I don't know how Margarito would be able to get the Ring Magazine at any point in time, considering I think he had any good wins at that time.
I think Jules is confused because when they fought, Margarito and Pacquiao fought for a interim WBC belt at 54. They never fought for the ring title at 54.
Okay, let me read this.
I do know
real quick.
it's probably a catchweight, probably.
AKH Boxing says Tio looked bad with movers. It's styles, not motivation.
Yeah, I agree. But he also looked bad against a guy who stood still. So.
Yeah, but for me, it's the same thing that the Jaime Munguia fight. You are not doing a good camp. You're not watching the tape. You maybe think that you don't need to for those kind of fighters.
You guys are you guys buying that he's actually going to fight Hitchens in a unification?
Yeah, that's what I was bringing up before, because it's like, okay, if you winning a belt means that Top Rank gets 5 more fights from you, and you don't want that, why would you be fighting Hitchens?
But if there's a clause in the contract that if he's fighting for Turkey then it doesn't count toward him having to fight more for Top Rank. But
no, it's any belt. It's any belt. It wouldn't matter. You won a belt, therefore we get 5 fights out of you.
So irregardless if it was on the top rank platform or not.
The way as he's explained it, then yes. If it is something like that, and that's like his way out, then cool. But he's never explained it that way. The way he's explained it is, if I get a belt, I have to give them more of, I have to get more fights with Top Rank.
Well, so then what's his ultimate goal? To set out 4 or 5 years? I mean,
no. I think Villain strike the nail on the head. Maybe he's just lying about it.
That is true, yeah.
Well, he lies about everything else, so I mean, but it's par for the course.
All right,
so then
Ren L. Felt, I think it says L. Felt, says Margot WBC 154, ring 126, and IBO and ring 140.
Okay. Yeah.
And Pacquiao was the ring magazine at featherweight, super featherweight, and light welterweight. So
that's crazy.
Okay, yeah.
I already started boxing champion of. Because we can add flyweight, light welterweight to that too, and welterweight.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man, his career
so
was
he's a 3-time ring magazine champion, and what does that make him? A 5?
Five-time lineal champion.
Yeah, 5.
In addition to the weight classes he won, the titles he won in every weight class. So,
hey, you guys, right now we're talking about that whole thing with Teo. Steve Kim was saying on his podcast, so that supposedly the reason they made that deal with Turkey was because Top Rank's going to get paid to let him participate with Turkey arranging the fights. So I don't know if Teo would have accepted that contract knowing that he'd still have to keep fighting for them after the 3 fights. Like, that seems kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, he could just be dumb. It wouldn't be the first time, because didn't he try to literally get out of his deal saying, oh, well, I didn't actually fight the opponent that was supposed to fight Pedraza. I fought Sandor Martin. So the original agreement doesn't work. And they were like, yeah, it does. You still signed for it.
I mean, I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so I was going to say, so it's very possible that he just doesn't check this stuff and his team doesn't check this stuff. So it's very possible that they did miss this. And also, Top Rank really, this might have been a 3D, incredibly 4D chess move from Top Rank. We get paid all this money for you to not fight with us. We don't got to pay a dime.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just about to say. I really think that Top Rank would be perfectly fine with Teo walking. I mean, he's brought more bad press than good press for sure.
Nah, but the Bob Arum doesn't care about that shit, though. He wants the fight to be done. I remember he said, and a lot of people I remember were confused why he never really seemed to hold anything against Terrence Crawford or what's his name, or Shakur Stevenson, even though they both called him out racist. Besides Teo also doing the same thing, they both finished out their contracts. The only color I think Bob Arum cares about is green, and the fact that Teo is trying to come between that color and him, he's probably not going to let him go. He's going to be like, hey, you're going to do this fight, then you're going to leave. That's it. That's all.
To the point that you just made, Ray, you hit the nail on the head, because that's what I've been telling people. Pawning off Teofimo to Turkey is the ideal scenario for Top Rank, because they don't have to pay out any money for his fights. They don't have to do anything, and they still get their percentage off the top because he's still their fighter. The only way you get out of that is if Turkey buys out the contract, but even then they still win, because you're going to charge a lot of money for that contract.
Hey, Jules, Rachel Donaire's in the chat, and she was saying she didn't see a 126 belt for Manny.
I think let me read the super chat. Ox said Teo looked bad with movers and styles, not motivation. I agree with that completely. It's a style thing, not a motivation thing. Ren said it was with Margot. It was the WBC at 154, Ring at 126, and IBO in Ring at 140 when he fought. I think it was Ricky Hatton, right, at 140. When he fought, that was Ricky Hatton at 140. So Oliver McCall is making a comeback. What's your excitement level from 1 to 10?
I'm saying I'm more excited. I'm more excited about this fight than Canelo versus Crawford.
Wait, who's he fighting though? Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Brock Lesnar, or a guy who looks like Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I was about to say actually.
He's fighting Cobia.
Oliver
He appears from the
geriatric in that picture, man.
I'd say it appears from the photograph. He's fighting obesity
and diabetes.
And diabetes.
I saw this picture come up. I thought this was like an old Mike Tyson picture that was like distorted or something. Man.
I know, right?
That's Oliver,
Does
bro.
that say country box? Country, you promoting this crap?
Bro, it's in Tennessee, bro. Like, how? He is 60 years old, dog. How are they giving him a license?
Let him do his thing. This is America, baby. Let that man go out CTE on his shield.
Shout out to Tennessee, bro. They're giving Florida a run for their money, man. They're giving Florida a run for their money and how trash they are as like what's it called?
You got to remember, Joan Guzman used to fight in Tennessee.
Bro, that's
shout out
to go down the pyramid in Tennessee, Memphis. I mean, they had to make Tyson versus Lewis, because Vegas wouldn't get Tyson a license.
It's fucking crazy, dog.
Shout out dementia for Oliver McCall.
For real, shout out to brain damage, bro. Fuck it.
That's steroids.
Fuck it.
Chris
Like,
Calderon says Oliver fought in November.
do you think there will be any VADA testing for this fight?
Wait. Oliver McCall fought recently?
Are you kidding me?
Jules, who's gonna sponsor the fight? Ensure Independence?
They could, bro. Like, that's not a bad idea, dog.
He's
Like,
come to the ring in a walker, and then he's gonna be in the corner. And they're gonna push him out there forward.
No, but is this gonna be Jake Paul's next opponent?
Oh,
I mean, honestly, that is a legitimate. That is a legitimate concern. Drew said, "Villain, we are winning. Trump checked Colombia. Let's not do the politics thing tonight, dog. Let's
we
not.
get into that enough, man. We really don't need to."
Oliver McCall fought November 19, 2024 versus Stacy Frazier. Stacy Frazier had a 16-22 record. He TKO'd him the second round.
What, Oliver McCall TKO?
Oliver McCall is on a comeback track to the championship.
How do you think he does against Daniel Dubois?
He knocks him out. 35 to 45 seconds first round. He knocks him out.
The same age as Don Charles. Man. He actually looks like him.
Always the last thing to go, man. I mean,
we know that.
Yeah, I mean,
if your mind is the first thing to go.
We live in an era that Oliver McCall is more active than fucking Keith Thurman.
Crazy, right?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being Stacy Frazier and going home to your woman and just saying, "I got my ass beat by a 60-year-old man. He knocked me out."
Nah, I'm gonna lie to her. What do you mean? I'm gonna be like, "Yo, I got knocked out by former heavyweight champion Oliver McCall. You know that? I lasted 2 rounds. You know how great I am."
He looks like the fucking thing in Cloverfield. The monster in Cloverfield. He doesn't look like the monster in Cloverfield. Look, like the monster in looks like the monster in
Oliver
Cloverfield,
McCall
bro.
is more active. Is more active now than half of the PBC stable.
Honestly, yeah, they should sign him. They should give him a multi-fight deal, bro.
Do you think the only things that Drew does is antagonize and lift weights and do steroids? Is that all? Is that his only 3 functions?
Yeah, the steroids cause the antagonism, is what it is. It's the TRT, bro. You know, I'm getting up there too. I might have to get some TRT myself. You know, I'm getting up there in age. Shout out to Domo McCall warming up for Jake Paul, possibly, bro. I wouldn't rule it out.
Yo, Jules, really quick. Did you hear about your boy fucking Lawrence Okoli is gonna fight Louis Ortiz?
Look, I don't mind the fight. Being real with you, I don't mind for his second fight at heavyweight. Remember, Usyk, as much as we love him, his first fight at heavyweight was Chaz Witherspoon. This isn't Ortiz compared to that isn't bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Who's gonna fight Ortiz?
Come on, his birth
Lawrence
certificate
Okoli.
is in cuneiform, man.
No, that's not
He's
bad.
too old.
No, that's not a
Shoot.
no. Wait a minute. That's not. We can't say that because if it's okay, if it was okay for Usyk's first 2 fights at heavyweight, remember who they were: Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora.
How old was Chaz Witherspoon?
Oh, he wasn't young. I remember he was in his late 30s, I think.
Oh, okay, then he's still younger than Luis Ortiz is right now.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I'm willing to make
Coliseum.
I'm willing to make the statement that Luis Ortiz is closer to age to Oliver McCall than he is to Chaz Witherspoon right now.
You know what? He might that might
Okay.
actually be true.
By 2 years.
Hang on. We're just reading a little disrespect from Luis Ortiz right now. Like, he did very well in the Olympics, the very first one.
Well, listen, I don't think it's honestly for Lawrence, I don't think it's a bad run out fight because one, it's a quick turnaround. He just fought. He knocked the guy out in a round. It's a quick turnaround, so he's getting back out there against the known heavyweight, mitigating the risks at a time where the world title picture's all locked up anyway. So I'm not against that fight. I don't think it's a bad fight. I don't. It's not a bad fight. Not a great fight, but not a bad one.
Nah, Julius, I'm gonna have to check you on this one. You're gonna have to stop trashing Del Boy. This is not the same fighter that trashed Joseph Parker in this first fight.
No,
Because you're talking like the motherfucker is done. He's gonna keep fighting.
No, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that if for someone of Usyk's stature, Usyk's stature, because he was a former undisputed champion in what was his second fight at heavyweight, he fought a guy with losses in the double digits, just calling a spade a spade. Now, Lawrence wasn't those things at cruiserweight, so is it okay for him to keep busy? Because that's all it is. It's a keep busy fight at the very best. Is it okay for him to keep busy with Ortiz? I say yeah, because maybe this guy could push you a little harder than the last guy. You fought a ham and that guy the last time. Let's see you in there with somebody who got some squabbles at this weight. Not a whole lot. But I don't think that's a bad fight. And what if Lawrence knocks him out really bad? I could go for that.
I mean, using your logic, though, can't we just say Oliver McCall's doing some keep busy fights for a fight for the belt again?
That's what I mean, bro. Yo, see
come
how
on.
old Luis Ortiz is, bro?
Bro, he do look old as shit, though. His face is swollen, dog. Like, you could see he got type 2 diabetes.
Like, they said he's 40, right? Like, you gotta multiply by 5 for his age, bro. Like, he's older than that, bro.
Well, in Cuba, that's 40.
No way in hell he's 40-something years old. I think he's 50-something, to be real with you.
But you do know in Cuban age, that means he's 57.
Wow. Fucking shit is crazy. Shout out to Drew. Also studying for CPA and Russian lessons, villain. Shout out to speaking Russian. Okoli should be fighting Kasiev. That's not a bad fight, honestly. It's not a bad fight at all. Risky, though. Mr. Calderon said, who's older, Ortiz or McCall?
Well, we have to learn the
That's a
conversion
great
of Cuban
question, bro.
years.
One guy
Gotta get their
says
birth
Ortiz is
certificates out for that.
McCall's grandpa.
Listen, man, I don't think it's. I saw him. There's a picture of him on Twitter. He's at the open workouts for the David Morell fight, bro. His face is all swollen and puffy and shit. Like, he's old, though. Like, he is old, bro. Like,
Yo, I remember when Wilder knocked him out, bro, and it was like, I forgot. I don't remember if it was the first or second fight, right? And the way his mouth looked, bro, he looked like, I genuinely thought Wilder knocked out a senior citizen.
It was the second fight.
It was the second fight.
Yeah,
He looked like he was having a stroke. Like, yo,
It's that look that you have when you know you're half an hour late from work and you don't go, oh shit, fuck do I do?
for
that
real.
look on his face.
He looked like he needed a glass of water, bro. Like his lips were parched like in the
Looked like
sun.
when he farted, a little bit of shit came out. That was the look on his face, bro. Like, a little bit of shit came out. Like,
He thought it was a fart, but his bowels betrayed him.
shout out to Ren. McCall, I heard Vladimir is making a comeback. Yeah, that's just talk, bro. He's been talking like that for like literally 5 years.
I'd
bro.
respect a Vladimir comeback, low key, to be honest. I don't care how old he is, bro. I feel like Vladimir is like a car that gets better with age.
All right, I'll say that if Vladimir came back, guys, I think he can beat. I think he can beat Dillian White. I think he can beat Dillian White. I think he can beat. He already beat Pulev, so that doesn't
That's what I was
count.
gonna say. Can he beat Pulev now?
I think he can beat Derek Chisora. I think he can.
Can't.
fucking Joe Joyce, motherfucker. He couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
There's another one he can beat.
There's guys he can beat. There's guys, but he's not gonna come back. He's literally been saying that shit for like 5 or 6 years, ever since the AJ fight. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. If he were gonna do it, he would have did it already. You know. Got the fight this weekend, man. Big fight, sort of.
Yep.
What fight is it? Oh, the Benavidez. Yeah.
Benvenuti, bro.
It's the Battle of the Davids.
My question to the panel is: how out of shape and flabby does Benavidez come into the ring?
No, he's gonna be fine. He got that memo shakes, bro.
I think he's fucking nervous, man, because the way they were complaining about the VADA testing, it communicates fear, you know? Like, you're juicing, I'm juicing. What are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? You're juicing, I'm juicing. Let's get it on. Simple. I would love to be surprised this weekend, but I'm going to go with David Benavidez to win. I would love to be surprised this weekend, though.
I'm going to go with Morell just out of pure spite. Spite for Mirage.
If I do it, they're never gonna let me live it down if I get it wrong. So I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna go with Benavidez, so that if I am wrong, I still get the laugh.
Are you going to be complaining afterwards, though? So after he wins, will you be inebriated and bitching ammonia?
Probably after a couple of Modelos. Probably.
I can't believe you're going with the Hamburglar, Jules. What the fuck?
No, it's just I'm hedging one at a time. I'm hedging my hate because if I pick against Benavidez and he wins, then I'm gonna get shit for it for weeks. But if I pick him and he loses, I still get the laugh. So I'm gonna pick Benavidez.
You know what? I mean, if he does lose, the Jerry and Mirage meltdown will be epic.
Yeah.
Jules, I would dare you to fucking make a bet against one of those two clowns. And if Benavidez was to lose, they'd have to come on camera on your show in a fucking Hamburglar costume. That would be fucking hilarious.
Bro, those guys don't listen. Those guys don't got honor like that. Like, not for nothing. Remember when you're dealing with like you know, like they don't got honor like that. They wouldn't honor the bet. You know, they wouldn't.
No, I think Mirage would, bro. He would have lost it all anyway. I think so, bro.
He wouldn't, dog. I don't think he would, dog. I mean, maybe if it was just a cash bet, but I don't think he would honor an actual.
Oh, the Hamburglar shit. Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's not gonna do all that, dog. You got to go out and get a costume and pay for it. He's not gonna do all that, you know. But yeah, I am mildly excited to see what happens because he could get upset. I mean, he could. I'm just not banking on it, you know. I don't know which one of y'all are, but I'm not banking on it, man. Too good to be true. If he lost this,
I'll bank on it because I've been high on Morell for a while. Like, I think he's really good and has potential to be good, and I think Benavidez ain't shit. So 1 + 1 = fuck you, Benavidez.
I don't know. I don't like banking against guys who I don't know about their gas tanks. To be honest, that's the only thing I'm against. To be real,
that's
if I knew his gas tank, then I would be more willing to pick. As of now, it's just.
I mean, we know he got tired last time. We know he got tired in his last fight, so we know something.
Yeah, it's that, and you got tired when you in the middle of the rounds when you fought what's his name, the guy that he put in a coma.
Oh right, the Kazakh guy,
yeah, like mid round he just slowed down.
Oh yeah.
And then he just said, "All right, I'm fully charged now. Second win, time to die." Killed him.
Is that guy still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He had to retire.
He retired?
Yeah, he had to because he had a brain bleed.
Yeah, if not, he'd be drinking out of a straw if he fought anymore.
They don't make Kazakh boxers.
He's still boxing.
He's a Kazakh, right? He's a Kazakh, right? Like Gennady. They don't make Kazakh boxers like they used to, man.
Jules, was he? I thought he was like Uzbek.
No, I think he was from Kazakhstan. I remember he had the blue flag and all that.
Oh, okay.
Remember when he came in with the drip? He had that big, long, like fur coat or whatever it was.
Yeah, he had like
that Viking look. Yeah.
Mongolian hat and they're sending Yanni back to Kazakhstan for his next fight. They don't give a shit about him, bro.
That's gonna do great numbers.
Him, bro.
Is that an ESPN Plus fight or like?
Bro, that's like an ESP. That's the Ocho. What are you talking about?
My dude, they sent him to Australia for the last one. Now they're sending him to Kazakhstan for the next. He's like, they don't give a shit about him,
dog. They gonna bring some pet goats to ringside for that fight.
and I'm pretty sure that you're not gonna see top rank guys on the undercard. It's gonna be a bunch of Kazakh guys on that
I
undercard.
hope
Like,
not, bro.
bro,
You're gonna see him fighting Antarctica next fight.
Bro,
They
what
don't
you
give
think
a
they're gonna
shit.
have Abdullah Mason on the undercard?
Hey
in
man, hey, they had. I
Kazakhstan,
remember
bro?
they had a card in Canada, and they had Jahi Tucker and Abdullah Mason on it.
Canada's not that far away, bro.
Well,
Like
yeah.
Kazakhstan is on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
No, they want to get rid of this guy. They're gonna have to fight him in Ukraine, closer and closer to the front lines. It's gonna.
Eventually, you're just gonna die.
Oh my God, Leo just
Yo,
shot shit.
Leo, are you?
Yanni Beck?
Leo,
Yanni
are
Beck,
you?
your next fight is in the active war zone.
Yeah,
For
Leo,
real,
are you automatic? Are you saying that there's gonna be active shelling like outside the arena when he's fighting?
Bro, like,
He's gonna end up fighting in the middle of Donbass.
If the bombs are like the audience, they'll all miss Yanni Beck anyway. So
the venue is Gaza, the Gaza
Yeah.
Strip.
you're gonna hear air sirens literally going off in the middle of the building
Shit.
as they're doing the ring intro.
The ring's gonna be inside a bomb shelter or some shit.
Be
Basically,
in a hospital in Gaza, bro. No, but I feel bad for him because it's like even if Top Rank cut him loose, where would he go that would make the situation any better? Where would he go?
nowhere.
He could try to go to
wants see him
Matchroom.
fight. Like
Yeah, but what could Matchroom do for him in the middleweight division when the situation is the same?
Hey man, they did what they could for Andre. I think he's a lot more agreeable than Andre. I think they could do something for him.
You're right. And if nothing else, go to 68 because they got a lot going on up there. You go to 68.
Oh yeah, make him versus Pacheco.
Make
Dog,
him
you
versus
fa-
Berlanga.
dog, you fainted at the.
That's
the
just not
weigh-in.
happening.
Go to 68 anyway.
Yeah. The money's there. You know, like for chasing around a 42-year-old Lara for his WBA. Just fucking move up, bro. It's the fucking point.
are they gonna ever do anything with Javelov? I mean, he's 30 years of age. He's won like 7 Olympic medals.
He's coming back next week. He's
Yeah, I think
fighting
they're
in
from-
Canada.
My jambalaya that he won the because you know this guy's got gold medals up the wazoo, dog.
Yeah.
Track and field, boxing, pole vaulting. He does the whole fucking thing, man.
But
Whole
nobody
fucking
knows
thing.
who the fuck he is. Nobody knows who he is in professional boxing because it's the worst promo for him ever.
He's
Bro,
a
Michael
professional-
Phelps on him
honestly-
more than the fucking fans.
Honestly, those Eastern European guys, some of them, their careers really resemble professional amateurs. A lot of them. Like, there are guys that you could tell your bread and butter is really the amateur system. You know that there's not a huge boxing market for Uzbek boxers, which is true. Like, look at MJ. He was a unified champion. No one gave 2 furry fucks about him. Nobody fucking cares about your belts, bro. There was another kid at 147 called Yelusalusa Usanov, and he was he's pretty
Daniil?
good.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
But nobody fucking cared, bro. Like, he's a good fighter, but he wasn't Uzbek. He was a Kazakh, I think. But
Yeah, he was a Kazakh, Jules.
But nobody fucking cared, bro. It's like, yeah, like them guys, they're really professional amateurs because the most money they're gonna get is that Emmy money, that those sponsorships that they get. You go pro, nobody's gonna give a fuck about you, dog. Like,
You know
Look
what
at
it is?
how-
Because
look at how they
people
try
ju-
to do. Look at how they try to do Usyk, and he's actually known. But look at how they try to do him. They really try to act like don't nobody know him. So a big Uzbek with one eyebrow, they ain't not gonna fuck with him, bro. They ain't
One
gonna-
eyebrow.
No, I was gonna say, like, the thing I think is a problem too with some of these guys is like you have to, if you want to, you have to endear them to some type of public, and I don't think anybody really does that well. Like when they had Triple G, Abel Sanchez was able to endear him to a Mexican audience, so he had some sort of fans, and then he was able to get in America, and he had even more fans. But with Yanni Beck, I don't know what they're doing. I couldn't tell you what the idea was.
I don't know.
But also, too, what helped Golovkin was he was beating the fuck out of people. He was knocking them dead. So if you're doing that, it's definitely going to want to make people see you.
Yeah, but
All
nobody
these other
wants to
dudes
take
Jules
the
is talking
fight,
about,
bro.
they're all technical boxers who just like to go the distance.
Wait a minute. Bakadir Jambalaya knocks people out. The thing is, in this landscape, like I could already tell, bro, There are lots of good fights hypothetically, but a lot of people are gonna choose not to fight him, dog. I'm telling you, like the David Adelays, the Fabio Wortleys, the Frazier Clarks, they're gonna tell themselves, why the fuck would I fight this fucking mongoloid when I can make domestic money without having to fight a big retard? Like, nah, I'm good, bro. They got a whole scene unto themselves where they can make great money without an alphabet title. If you think about it, David Adelaide versus Frazier Clark, that sells. Fabio Wortley versus Dillian White, that sells. You can mix and match all those names over there without an alphabet title, and these guys can make 7 figures a fight, maybe a little more than that. So they're gonna see this big dude and like, nah, we don't need that problem.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, okay, so your entire base is in England. Okay, get this dude to an English promoter and have him try to get promoted over there. That's the best case scenario.
And who's he gonna fight, bro? Fucking Polish guys? Because
You
those are
can
the only
find
ones that
people
are
to
gonna
fight.
want to fight him.
Nah,
It will
but
take a turkey to do that.
The other thing about Janibek is, I think the hype died the moment he went to decision with Bentley.
Yeah, that didn't help. That did not help.
Yeah, because that killed the magic that he was the next Golovkin or whatever the fuck.
Honestly, yeah, you can pinpoint the air being let out of the tires with that, because that was a shitty fight, by the way. It was a shitty fight, and that Felix Cash wrapped this dude up in what was it, 2 rounds? But you still here late into the hours, round 11. It's like, yeah, you ain't no Triple G, bro. This dude would have never went the distance with Triple G, man.
He made up for it later, but it's just like it feels like he can never keep the momentum. Like he had that ass fight, then he knocked out, I think it was like 2 guys back to back in great fashion, and then he had another ass fight right after
but
that.
it was, you know what the thing was? He knocked out Steven Butler after that. It's like, bro, everybody knocks out Steven Butler, bro. Like, if you know anything about Canadian boxing, Steven Butler getting knocked out is like a natural occurrence, bro. It's like the Aurora Borealis. It's gonna happen, bro. If you don't knock him out, somebody else will.
But what's it called? But people like when Golovkin was crushing the cans.
Yes, but I want to say that is honestly, if you compare the cans that Golovkin crushed, they were more respectable than the cans that Yanni Beck crushed. Danny Dignam, bro. Danny Dignam, really?
Rubio was respectable.
More respectable than Danny Dignam.
No. I don't think it's about that, because you're forgetting something. He was crushing those cans, and he was crushing a lot of those cans. Look, I'm not want to make a comparison because I think the levels are different between Golovkin and Wilder, but there is a reason that Wilder and Golovkin had that image of knockout artists and exciting fighters, because how many knockouts in a row Golovkin had?
Oh, he was on a hell of a run. Yeah, it was a hot streak. Also, to Leo's point, which I completely agree with, Yanni Beck is just not as good as Golovkin, dog. No. Like you can see that. Like, do you think Andre Mikhailiovic was in that fight a little bit too long for me, dog? And that guy sucked. That fight would not have lasted that long if it were Golovkin he was fighting. Nah. He would have threw one of them. He would have threw one of them chopping rights, and that would have been it, bro. That would have been it.
Now, to be fair, because he played with that dude for too long. Because I remember there was a moment in time, like the second round, he could have just killed him, and he just like laughed at him instead and waited for him to like recover.
Well, that shit didn't help. Though.
Then he's an idiot.
He's a moron.
That's literally what happened too, bro. I remember how bad he hit him.
You don't get paid by the hour, Yanni Beck. Get fucking rid of this guy. You know. How long did it take him to finish the guy? What, 7-8 rounds?
Wasn't it 6 rounds?
No, I
wasn't
think it was
6. It went past the midway point. I remember. I'm
Oh
like,
wait, yeah, you're right. I think it was 8.
I was like, yo, how we still here and you still with Andre Malkovich, bro? John Malkovich. Like, get this fucking guy out of here, bro.
No, I think you can make a career of fighting cans, but you have to fight a lot of those cans.
He doesn't fight often enough. He only fights. He only fights 2 times a year. That's another thing that Golovkin was doing. That he was fighting often, dog. Every time you turn around, he's beating the shit out of somebody. Yanni Beck isn't fighting on a schedule like that.
Yeah, and even if it's not true, if you fight a lot of cans, people are gonna think you are being a volleyball, even if it's not true. At one point, people are gonna start saying, "No, this guy is the biggest threat in the middleweight division ever." In the same way that we did with Golovkin.
Yeah, you could say he's like because Bob tried it. He's like Marvin Hagler. He's a southpaw like Marvin
Oh hell,
Hagler.
fucking
Like,
no.
man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, bro.
Nah, but you know what it is? Somebody talked about the new age, and I know you're gonna be confused because you're gonna say, "Well, Yanni Beck hasn't really fought anybody," but it's like a lot of his fights, remember, are kind of like mandatories at a certain point. So the thing is that these days, a lot of guys they don't really want to just have a stay busy fight just like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's weird. It's almost like they're like, we want to get a big fight, so we're not gonna fight at all and hope that that big fight can make it there. And when it doesn't make it there, and we 100% need to fight because of a mandatory or we just need to get out there, we're gonna fight a bum.
Yeah.
And the last thing people see is though you took 12 years to just fight one dude that sucked.
He just needs to fucking leave, bro. Just fucking move up so that those 2 belts could go vacant. So that, I don't know, maybe Xander will move up and pick up a title, or just somebody from 154, because middleweight is just dog dick, bro. It sucks, bro. Like, it's terrible.
You know what I think?
Hey, man, middleweight's never really been good. I've always said it, bro.
Nah, you can't say that.
Yes, I can.
When Canelo and Jacobs and Golovkin were there, it was a much more vibrant division than it is now.
Yeah, but it was cool when people came up. It was never cool on its own.
I mean, when you had, let me think, that spell between, let's say, 2014 to 2018, middleweight was good. Middleweight was good. You had Jacobs, Curtis Stevens, David Lemieux, Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo, to a lesser extent, Eubank. It was okay. It was okay. It was much better than it is now, bro.
Yeah, but that's like saying, this piece of garbage doesn't smell as bad as this piece of shit.
Well,
damn,
it is shit now. Shout out to Liam. Gold medal amateurs from the step, from the step, get to look after. Not sure what that's in reference to, Liam.
From the step links, like from the steps get looked after. I think is what he's saying.
Oh, okay. Mr. Calderon said Yanni Beck should have unified when Triple G. No, he wasn't gonna fight that dude, bro. He wasn't trying to fight Big Bro. He said that. He literally said that on his Twitter that he didn't want to fight Golovkin. It's just that. What's the best fight that you could make at middleweight? It would have to be Yanni Beck versus Hamza, I'd say, and that's if Hamza beats Carlos. I do think he's gonna beat Carlos, but after that, there's just not a lot there, bro. Not until guys start moving up. Not a lot there.
And Hamza himself kind of disappointed me when he did the little sidestep of Yanni Beck. Like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, because they didn't they either ordered it or something, and he chose Carlos. Even now, I don't really understand what his rationale was. I guess maybe they view Yanni Beck as being riskier. I guess they like chances against Carlos better.
So if Hamza does beat,
Yanni Beck was always going to be there for him. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
I guess.
If Hamza does beat Adam as Jules, do you think he gets Lara's old ass in the ring, or are they going to try to stay? You think so?
No, I think he will, because the way it's looking, Lara's in limbo right now, bro. So if Lara doesn't get a fight in between now and the time that Hamza takes care of Carlos, right? Let's say a year passes and Lara don't fight, or just a lot of months. Yeah, I could see them going after him because he's like 43, bro. He's like 43 years old. And then they'll probably save Yanni Beck for last, And by then, Yanni Beck will be struggling to make the weight. Hamza's probably the last hope for this fucking division, bro. Honestly.
But then also, too, how long does Hamza have left at middleweight? He's a huge fucking guy.
Well, he said with a guy like that, it's a ticking time bomb. But he did recently say that he makes the weight just fine. He doesn't struggle. He's naturally thin. He doesn't stray far from his fight weight. That's what he said. So we'll see how long that fucking shit lasts. Guys like 6'4" at 160. How's that even possible, dog?
He is pretty skinny. I mean, we got a guy that's like 6'5" at 154 and a guy that's 6'1" at 126.
True.
That's crazy, man.
That's the next future super fight right there.
Motherfuckers is shaped like Slender Man.
Fundora. That's actually interesting now that I think about it.
They're all shaped like praying mantises.
No, it's not. Yo, Hamza, if Hamza...
ripped
If
his
he
soul out
hit
of his body.
Sebastian Fundora, dog, it'll be like dropping a thing of matches on the floor, bro. The whole fucking thing would just fall apart, dog. Like, remember Brian Mendoza? Brian Mendoza
yeah.
clipped this motherfucker,
Yo,
bro.
I
Lubin
know.
hit
Are
that
you
man so
saying it's
fucking hard, bro.
Are you
And
saying
speaking of
it's a
thin
pipe
guys,
cleaner
is
versus a man? Is that what you're saying? What the hell?
Man, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know.
I don't
That was
know.
weird.
Fucking Russian computer virus or some shit, bro. Like
Nah, man.
Jules is pissing off some hackers.
Jules, you
That's
frozen.
OpenAI.
You
It's
started
fucking up our
buffering,
internet.
man.
No, speaking of thin
That
fighters,
was the
though,
Chinese.
was there ever a less intimidating nickname than the explosive thin man for Alexis Arguello?
the
Oh,
It sounds
explosive.
cooler when you say it in Spanish, bro.
Yeah, like that's a rough translation. Like, man, fuck that shit.
Now that is
but-
what it means in Spanish. In
No, I know,
English, though.
not
Yeah,
bad. It just
it's
sounds like
bad.
shit.
But it sounds terrible in English, but in Spanish it sounds cool.
Yeah, like the best shit in English for a tall, thin fighter. I stand by the Motor City Cobra. My man, Tommy Hearns, man. If I was a tall, skinny motherfucker, that's what I'd want people to call me. Motor City
The
Cobra.
Lone Star Cobra is still cold to me, to be honest. I thought that was a better version of it. For
I
Curry.
don't know. Hitman goes hard though.
Easton Assassin, bro. Larry Holmes. Fucking great name.
Yeah.
Easton
Someone,
Assassin.
wait. There's a. I want your opinion on this. So, this might be controversial, but somebody made a video, and it was about Larry Holmes, and he basically wanted to make the argument that Larry Holmes was like what's it called? One of the best. Well, yeah, the best. One of, if not like in the conversation, or the best heavyweights of all time. Like he should be in that conversation.
I would say Larry is top, because I don't tabulate the data, but I would say that Larry is a top 15 to a top 10 heavyweight, not top 5. Not top 5, but top 10 to top 15, yes. Top 5, no. Mm-mm.
Why? Who's going above top 5? What's it above him?
I think once you get into the top 5, you're talking about Joe Louis, you're talking about Muhammad Ali, you're talking about George Foreman, you're talking about
Wait a second. You rank Joe Louis in the top
25 consecutive title defenses.
No, not because of that. I don't mean that. I don't mean the achievement. I mean because like where's the cutoff period when you put for the time?
What do you mean? Like, do I not rank? Oh, okay. I don't rank fighters before. I don't rank fighters, or at least it's a caveat. But if you weren't fighting black fighters, then I got to take that into consideration, because then you weren't fighting everybody.
So before Phil.
So
where do you put Lennox Lewis?
I think Lennox is a top 5 heavyweight, or at least top 10. I do.
Above Larry?
That's tough. Honestly,
No.
yes.
No.
Yes.
Jules, no. I think Holmes overall his career was just a shade better than Lennox. Lennox has two very questionable
wait a minute,
knockout losses.
Wait a minute. I agree with that. But Lennox's era was much tougher than Larry's. Well, who's Larry fighting? Trevor Burbick?
Wait, hold on. How about I say this?
No, before that though, he fought Ernie Shavers. He fought.
Can I make an argument?
Mike Weaver. He fought.
Oh, go ahead, Ray.
No, I'll let you get back into this. But here's how I'm gonna address the. And I know you're about to say this is triangle theory, right? I understand, but in terms of errors and everything, I saw an old Larry Holmes put the very bad, way better, infinitely better, not even describable to put them in the same category against Ray Mercer.
Yeah.
Then you see Lennox Lewis, and he's struggling. I've heard some people say they thought he lost the fight. Yeah, you didn't.
No.
No.
You're right. I mean, like, look, that's a very. I feel that the argument for Larry to be ranked above Lewis would be set if he would have came back in his second phase and won a title, but he didn't. In the second phase of Larry's career, when he's older and shit and fatter, he didn't win a title. I feel like that would have been what put him over the top. But he didn't win a title when he came back. Fought one or two good guys, but he didn't win a title. Whereas Lewis, he beat every man. He beat every man that he fought. Yeah, he lost to Oliver McCall, but he got that back. Yeah, he lost to Hasim Rahman, but he got that back. And I feel like his era was more competitive than Larry's comparatively, because Larry's era was a transitional era. You know, it's not the golden era like fucking Ali fought in. It's a transitional era. Mike Weaver. Oh, okay. Fought Mike Weaver.
Norton.
The fact that
Not giving credit to that.
A light heavyweight came up and beat him though. So like we can't talk about his era. Like, it was great.
It was controversial when Mike went up and beat him. But the fact that like, yo, you went 15 rounds with Michael Spinks 2 times, bro. 2 times? You couldn't finish this
Michael Spinks
motherfucker.
is an elite fighter.
I'm not saying he not, but Mike finished that motherfucker in 34 seconds, bro. 34 seconds. Just saying.
He went on an elite light heavyweight, went up against Rocky Marciano. Marciano beat the shit out of him.
It's just look, Lennox.
He beat the 7 eventually.
Lennox and Larry are debatable, but just off the dome, I don't know that I put Larry in the top 5. I would have to really think about that if I would put him in the top 5. I would have to think about that. It's not crazy. It's not a crazy notion. It's just I'm thinking Joe Louis, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston. Could you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
His best win was Floyd Patterson, Jules. That's not exactly a great win.
Lennox Lewis.
It's a good win.
Lennox Lewis. Do we put Vlad in the top 5?
You know what's strange? I've never did that with Vlad. I
would put Vlad top 10.
He didn't have the achievements for it. I always found myself kind of putting like the tally up there.
No title defenses. He what's he got? 19? Isn't it 18 or 19 title defenses?
Probably. He was the training for champion for
something like that. Yeah,
that's a lot, bro. That's a lot, and he was unified.
But then the same thing with him, Jules. Back when he was fighting in his quote unquote prime, there was a lot of dudes that a lot of people now would be like, "Are you serious?" Ruslan Shagayev, Sultan Abramadov, Calvin Brock. Like, there's just gonna be dudes that you're gonna look at his resume and be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
The boxing banker, Calvin Brock. But there's good names. There's good names. There's Lamont Brewster. There's Pulev. There's Povetkin. There's good names too, bro. These guys.
But then there's those 3 I mentioned, and then Eddie Chambers. You know, like, there's certain dudes that you're gonna look at his resume and be like,
Yeah, but every supermarket has a couple of cans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe Louis had the bum of the
man.
month. Joe Louis had the bum of the month club. We can't act like that. Joe Louis had the bum of the month club.
They're only bums because Joe Louis beat him like bums.
Well, if you look at some of them guys was pretty shitty, you know. It's like the Chavez thing, like the Ramon Aramburu thing. They're like, yeah, Chavez had a great run and all that, but some of these guys really were shit. Some of them. So, you know.
But overall though, Jules, he fought a lot of fucking dudes that were legit fighters though. Yeah, he fought cans in between a lot of the guys he fought. But you can't take away from his resume, though.
Okay, but we could say that about Klitschko, wouldn't you say? You could say that about Klitschko.
No, yeah. I'm not saying that he didn't fight cans in between, quote unquote, the best guys he fought from his era. But at the same time, though, like I said, you look at his resume, it's kind of hard to put him in the top 5. I'd say he's a top 10 based on the defenses and how dominant he was.
Okay, I'll concede that.
So what's 5 right now then?
Can you go live for Oliver McCall when he fights?
Oh, fuck you.
That's what I'm really worried about.
We might have to put Oliver McCall in there. You know that, right? We might have to put him in there.
Well, hang on a second. If Oliver McCall does complete the comeback train and win a title, that does speak strongly to Lennox Lewis.
Shit. He's still out here, man. Fucking Oliver McCall. God, I hate doing ATG lists. It's just too much data to tabulate in my head, bro.
I mean, you cut off a decent amount of the error, so we're basically going from like what 70s and up.
It's just hard to say that. All right, we're gonna have like Jack Dempsey's one of the greats, but you never fought a black fighter, bro. You made a decision not to fight black fighters. It's hard to rate you against them when you wouldn't fight them, bro. Gene Tooney, same shit.
Dr. Old ass Jack Johnson.
Right? It's just hard to put you in that like. I want to put them on a list. Like, okay, we'll put them somewhere on the list. But the fact that you didn't compete with everybody that was around, yeah, that's an asterisk. That's a pretty big asterisk, bro.
That's a shame because like that fight between them was one of the most important fights in boxing history. But either one
Tony and Dempsey.
like fighters. Yeah.
Ali, Lewis, Larry Marciano. No, that's not bad actually.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
think I
know.
could roll with that.
I don't know where I don't know where to put Marciano. I don't know where to
Because he's
put
too small.
Top 10, not top 5.
No, it's more like he was great for his era. In terms of ability, I don't even do it because I don't think it's fair. You're talking about an era of heavyweights where a guy might weigh 179, basically a fucking light heavyweight today. So it's not that. It's just that you retired at 32 years old at 49-0, and it seems abrupt for your era. It seems abrupt. But at the same time, look, he fought who was around. He retired undefeated. I just don't know what to think of him, you know? I don't know what to think of him. And I hear all the mob stories that he was in bed with the mob. How many of these fights were fixed? I just, these are things I wonder about.
Yeah, the Walcott
Man.
fight didn't look fixed.
You just never
He
know.
knocked the fuck out of Walcott.
No, Jersey Joe, yeah, he knocked his ass through
Yeah.
the ring. He knocked his
He
ass
beat
through
Jersey
the ring.
Joe twice. He beat Ezra Charles twice. Like, and he beat Archie Moore. So, like, even if that's like only 3 guys in 5 fights, those are 3 big names.
That's like 2
Yeah.
middleweights though. Well, 2 light heavyweights, I guess, realistically. I can see where
Yeah,
people
but
draw
all
the
those guys
issues.
He was a light
back
heavyweight
then,
himself. What the fuck?
there was no heavyweights that were over 190 for the most part.
Yeah, them dudes. That's what I be
Yeah.
saying. That's where it comes from. That I'm like, there's got to be a cutoff because this is an entirely different division after a while. You got
Yeah.
guys 190.
But if that's the
170
case, then you got to cut off Lewis. You got to cut off Joe Lewis.
All you're making the case for is that Americans became obese. That's all you're saying. It's this whole conversation.
There you go, villain.
Oh, didn't Joe weigh about 201, 210 around there?
Let me
Yeah, he was a
If
small
he
guy.
did,
He
he's
never
carrying it well.
went
I'll say
over
that.
205, I think, if anything.
But at 201 or 205, he can rock with some guys, man. He can rock with some guys.
I don't know. If you told me that, if you were like making
Could
a
he
time
rock with
machine and put-
Evander Holyfield, Jules? I mean, Holyfield was
No.
a small heavyweight.
No, he couldn't.
Nah.
He was
He
just
gets
one,
deep.
so
If you think about a prom holy where he's losing his hair, yeah, fuck that, bro. Fuck that. You came
Yeah,
outside
exactly.
like that? Fuck that, bro. That motherfucker don't care about shit.
The Georgia Pitbull, as fucking Rock Newman called him.
He's fucking
No,
great,
but-
though, man. He's fucking great.
Julius, what about Jack Johnson?
I don't know enough about him. I didn't watch footage on him, to be honest.
Does he even have footage?
I think
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like, I think there's some
I think
old
it was
black
right.
and white footage. I do think there is, but I haven't researched. To be
You
honest
can
with
find
you,
it
I
on
haven't researched
YouTube,
it.
man. They got stuff on YouTube of his footage, but it's kind of like, not the greatest.
The only thing I really know about Jack Johnson is he was on that Snow Bunny time. He
Well,
liked to
that-
fuck.
That and I think he popularized movement is what it is, unless I'm mistaken. He popularized movement
The
and
fucking
using
white
the ring.
bitches.
No, I think that was
Gotta move,
wasn't that
fucking
Willie
white
Seth?
bitches. Gotta move. If you're gonna be fucking white bitches in that time, you better move.
Yeah.
well, moving is what got him in trouble.
Did anyone?
Yeah,
watch,
they
like,
literally
the still
charged him with a
photos of, like,
crime.
When you talk about like the Jack Johnson or the Sam Langford, it feels more like a lifetime achievement award than rating him with these heavyweights. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah, kinda
actually
like, yeah, you
think
made
that Jack Johnson could beat Lennox Lewis. You understand? Like, if you made that, Lennox is gonna knock him through the fucking ring, bro. You know?
You can pretty much display that on a Fight Night Champion.
Yeah, like it's more of a lifetime achievement award. You bring up those guys because after a while, it's just a different sport than what it used to be or whatever. You know?
Yeah, but
Are
at the
you
same
guys-
time, the reason I don't really think about that in that perspective is, do you think a guy, for example, that like Lennox Lewis will be able to hold a punch with those gloves they were using in the beginning of the century?
No, look,
What
I always explain it this way, Leo. I believe those men from like the Jack Johnson era were durable and stronger, but they were also slower and cruder. So I think movement and a good jab, he would beat a Jack Johnson. Does that mean now that doesn't mean that Jack can't knock him out or that he doesn't pack a big enough punch that he could knock him out? For Christ's sake, Rockman knocked him out. Oliver knocked him out. So yeah, it's possible, and it's always possible when the men are that size. But I do think the movement and the jab, if we're talking about prime for prime, a prime Lewis, yeah, I don't see one of them old guys fighting like this.
No, but
Put him up ass.
if we are doing the time machine,
I
thing-
wanna.
The funny Irish stance.
Well, you know why they did that stance, right, Jules?
yeah,
Why?
for the
Because they didn't have gloves back in the day, so when you hit the head, you would break your knuckles. So the idea was it was all body shots, so you bring your elbows down from there.
Well, yeah,
No,
but
but-
look, could you imagine throwing a fucking jab like they got this? Like, that shit don't even-
No, but Julius, if we are doing the time machine thing, to be honest, some of these guys, very accomplished guys in modern times, if you put them there to make a career, they don't make it to the world title level. I don't think so. That kind of activity, that kind of schedule, no.
I see what you mean. Tougher times, standards different. It's more gruel. I see it. It's grueling. It's like you're out there. You might be fighting fucking 5 times, 6, 7 times in a calendar year.
I mean, Jules, just for example, look at Sugar Ray Robinson. He fought Jake LaMotta. Like, what the fuck is the story? He fought him once in January, and then they literally had the rematch like 4 weeks later. It's like, how the fuck is that even possible? That's some crazy ass shit.
You know what? They was different, dog. Like if you think about it, could you physically handle this burden? Because they really was on some different shit back then. I suppose that's true. But I think
they were on the same schedule as WWE.
I think the
They're busy
tactics.
all the time.
I think the tactics and techniques got better, but physically the men got weaker. That's what I think.
Jesus Christ. I looked up John L. Sullivan just for shits and giggles. He had one fight against some dude named Jack Curley, March 13th, 1879. His next fight was against Johnny Cocky Woods, March 14th, 1879. Get the fuck out of here.
It was them dudes was cavemen back then, bro. Like I don't think you know what, to the point you made, Leo, I think you're right. Physically, from a physical perspective, I don't know that the postmodern heavyweight could handle how grueling it was back then. But I stand by that the technique, the fundamentals got better. The technique and the tactics got better, but physically the men got weaker. I stand by that.
I told you this before about Pele. Do you know who Pele is?
What the fuck?
Come on, man.
Fucking Rock, bro.
Do you know who Pele is?
Okay, Pele.
Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
I don't know. You heard of him in passing.
You are American. I don't know if you know about soccer.
Of course we know who Pele is.
Tell him, Leo.
It's football, Leo. Football.
He's like fucking Julio Iglesias of fucking football. Everybody knows fucking Pele.
Yeah.
But do you know Wayne Gretzky?
No, but look. You know all this shit that people now do with the soccer ball, all those dribbles and all these tricks. Pele was doing that with a fucking ball that is practically a rock, and people that were trying that shit were doing all those tricks, all those dribbles with the ball that were used before in the 20s. They could not do it because the equipment. What I'm trying to say is the equipment changed the technique, the technology adjusted to the modern times, and the people started using different tactics and different techniques in the sport.
Leo, they used to put cocaine in coke. I mean, everything changes.
Cocaine and Coca-Cola, yeah.
When you think about the gloves, you know, you really this is something I would really like to flesh out as a thought. Like, did they get better? Did they really?
The gloves, no. Like I remember someone used to talk about. I don't know if it was like a part of a type of Reyes gloves that Arguello had, but they said the type of. I remember they said this on the forgot which fight it was, and it was crazy that they said it to me because I was like, "There's no way a glove like that would even be allowed today." They said, "Yes, those gloves that he has on right there, they're usually used to cause a lot of cuts." And I was like, "Wait, you have gloves that can make cuts easier to show up on your opponent's face?"
Yo, dog.
You just stopped the guy with cuts that was beating you last week.
Bruh.
You know, you guys should be doing right now. You should be doing what I'm doing. I'm watching the replay of Oliver McCall, Stacey Frazier. 2 rounds. Intriguing. You guys are wasting. You guys are wasting your time. I'm watching geriatric men box.
Oh shit!
Right there. It's one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life.
You know, I'm feeling like I'm Oliver McCall's age, so I'm gonna call it a night. I'm fucking tired. I will be going live again on Wednesday, so we could talk more about David Benavidez and his fight with David Morell. So
Jules, does Mirage show up Saturday?
I think he will.
Oh,
I think
you
he's
know
going to
he
join the
is.
You
panel.
think so? Okay.
I think he will. I think he's going to join the panel.
Shit.
He'll be
David
good.
Benavidez.
He always